It's time for Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Presented by Baptist Emergency Hospital. Now, here's Don Harris.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Gustafson Stadium on San Antonio's north side, where tonight, Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights has another 27 6A matchup. It's the Stevens Falcons against the Taft Raiders. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Harris, as always, with my broadcast partner, Chuck Mikatinik. And Chuck, you got two teams that look like it's a mismatch on paper, but Taft is better than people think, and the Stevens Falcons are really good, especially offensively.
Don, I honestly believe that both of these teams are underrated kind of in their own way. I mean, when you talk about some of the teams around the city that are getting a lot of the headlines, I don't think a lot of people are even talking about Stevens despite the 5-1 record. And then there's Taft. Yeah, you look at the 2-5 mark and you say, okay, this is a sub-500 team, but honestly, they've had 3 ball games come down to either the final series or the final play of the game. They could easily be sitting here with a winning record as well.
Yeah, good teams as well. When we talk about Stevens, we talk about a passing game. Of course, we're talking about their quarterback, Bryce Rivers, already thrown for 1,800 yards.
I'm really curious to see this young man play an entire football game. We've seen highlights of him. He's just a junior. And Don, I'm going to tell you, I've seen this young man pitch a baseball. If he's half the quarterback that he is a pitcher on the diamond, we're going to see something special. You talk about under the radar. This young man, extremely accurate. He's gifted. He's even grown 3 inches from last year. This is going to be a special talent, one that we're going to be talking about for a while.
Yeah, he's just a junior, and as much as they love to do it through the air, Taft does it via the ground, and they've got a running back that's very special, Christian Mallard.
This young man, I don't know if there's anything he can't do. He's special in the classroom, and he's like a bowling ball on the field. I mean, this kid is a load. You look at the stats, obviously it speaks for themselves. This young man is clearly the leader of this ball club on both sides of the ball. And like I said, for all of the accolades we can talk about this young man as a football player, he's an even better student. He's already been offered by all 3 of the service academies, so that tells you what kind of a student athlete he is.
All right, speaking of military man, our own Mike Hernandez once served, and it's time to go down to Mike for our ASCO game time weather. Mike?
All right, pretty nice evening, guys. We're looking at temperatures in the upper 80s, but again, if you look out, it is just beautiful, clear. The winds are out of the southeast at about 8-10 miles an hour, and it's not humid, so it feels pretty good out here.
Yeah, Mike, we've been talking about the offense, but defensively, both these squads have guys that have been offered Division I scholarships as well, right?
Yeah, I want to start with Stevens because they have a young man. He's 6'5", and he's 260 pounds. Number 90, you'll see him. He's a senior. He's going to stand out like a sore thumb, not only in physical size, but in ability, and that's Elijah Garcia. Need to watch him. He's a playmaker. Coach Hempel says he makes things happen, and he likes doing it. There's a couple other guys on defense you want to watch there on that same side of the ball, and that is Elijah Earls, and he's a defensive end. He's actually had a couple of INTs as a defensive end. One of them, he ran back for a touchdown. And speaking of INTs, DeAnthony Carter, he's got 5 picks as a cornerback. So it looks like a matchup where Taft is going to try to run the ball against a very stingy defense. We'll see how it goes.
All right, Taft's been in some close ones. We're hoping for another close one here tonight. When we come back, we'll have our Church's Chicken keys to the game. You're watching Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights on the CW35.
Tonight's broadcast in high definition is brought to you by the Law Office of Ramon Cervantes.
Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Stevens and Taft here from Gustafson Stadium tonight. Right now it's time for our Church's Chicken keys to the game.
Don, first for the Stevens Falcons, this is a squad that likes to throw it around the lot. Their best athletes are their skill guys. They make no bones about it, so they want to be able to pass and catch the football tonight. Secondly, what they want to do on defense, they want to slow down the Taft running game, and specifically that means try to do as much as you can to inhibit Christian Mallard. And lastly, they want to win the special teams.
Here's one of our favorite coaches in town, Daryl Hemphill.
We're doing pretty well right now, and we had a week off, so we hope we can continue that and not get sluggish. But our kids have responded to everything we've asked them to do all year long. They're young. It's kind of like Stevens High School daycare. When we first got started, we were so young. But they've grown up some and made some plays, and we're excited about being here.
All right, Chuck, as for their opponent tonight, the Taft Raiders.
Well, Don, the first thing they'd like to do tonight is be able to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Secondly, they don't want Bryce Rivers to have any fun tonight. Obviously, he's the slinging quarterback for the Stevens Falcons. He's a left-handed guy. They want to try to make him throw from the other side of the field. Try to make him right-handed tonight if they can. And then lastly, kind of like Stevens, they want to get some momentum in the kicking game.
Here's their head coach, Brian Davenport.
Well, we hope their offense stays on the sideline a lot. Their quarterback is really special. I've been coaching a long time, and I think he's one of the best I've seen. Just poise and command and just what he does and puts the ball in places. You can cover him, but he can put it where he's open, So hopefully we can kind of control him and keep him out of rhythm a little bit, and hopefully we can control their front and make some plays on offense.
All right, it's set up to be a good one. When we come back, we'll have our Dixie Flag Company national anthem, and we'll kick it off with our Sears kickoff. It's all coming up straight ahead on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights.
Closed captioning of tonight's game is brought to you by Air to Recovery.
Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Let's turn it over to our public address announcer, Kevin Buchholz.
Ladies and gentlemen, at midfield is the color guard from the Texas 882nd Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps Cadet Wing of William Howard Taft High School. The color guard is commanded by Captain Mohammed Almosa. Other members of the color guard are Cadet Captain Nathaniel Villanueva, Cadet First Lieutenant Jacob Garcia, and Cadet Second Lieutenant Lauren Garcia. If you have not already done so, please rise and remove your hats as we honor America's men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice, along with those who have served and are serving in our United States military. In addition, to honor them, all of our Northside football teams are wearing American flag decals on their helmets. The national anthem for this evening's game will be performed by the William Howard Taft High School Choir under the direction of Judy Welch.
Nice job by the William Howard Taft Choir singing the national anthem. We've got Taft and Stevens here tonight. Taft is the home team, and let's look back at last year's game. You see the score was 28-14. As Coach Darrell Hemphill looks on. Stevens won that football game, but Chuck gives us an indication that we might have another close one tonight. Taft a little bit underrated at 2-5.
They beat Jay their last time out 42-7, and then, you look at their record. It's 2-5 overall, 1-1 in zone play. But Don, honestly, they go 2 overtimes with Lee. Coach Davenport was telling us that Churchill was probably their best game that they've played all year long, and they ended up losing that one in a close one. They lose on a last-second field goal to LBJ. And then he said, really, they played their best half of football the whole season against Brent, and then they gave that game away in the second half. So this is a team with a lot of weapons, and he said they've had to kind of overcome some mental bruising, if you will, early on in the season. You know, he thinks he's got a good team, and it's just a matter of were the kids going to believe it. But he said, you know, he's really proud of his kids, the way they've battled, the way they've kind of stayed the course. And, yeah, I think we're in for a whale of a ball game tonight.
They're going to have to overcome that logo. You see the T on their golf shirt. It's the Texas Rangers T. And last I checked, there are no Elvises on the Taft roster, and that might be a good sign. But the logo might be a curse for him.
Wow.
After what we've seen.
No, I'm not going there,
Texas,
man. We're going to keep it football tonight.
Yeah, let's. I think that'd be good for everybody involved. It's still too soon. It's too soon. Pain is still there.
For Taft,
Christian Mallard's back to return the kick. Now, you're going to see a lot of this young man all night long, as we talked about in our setup. He's their star running back, over 870 yards, 10 touchdowns on the season. But he's also a dangerous kick returner. In fact, he's got an 85-yard return for a touchdown and a 95-yard return for a touchdown. Both of those came against Churchill.
Is Eric
Meanwhile, Eric Pena handles both the kicking and the punting duties for Stevens, and he will put his foot into this one, and we'll be underway. It's a gorgeous night for football out here at Gustafson Stadium, Northside School District, and they know better than to kick it to Mallard. They're going to kick it short. It's going to be taken at the 25-yard line by the Raiders and bouncing it outside, but driven down south of the 30, and we may have a loose football. Stevens thinks they have it.
Blowing it dead.
The officials look like they're going to say it's Taft ball, and it is. Ball must have come out after the play.
Kickoff, it'll be Taft possession, 1st and 10.
And there you see Christian De Hoyos leading this offense out here.
Yeah, Don, really good numbers on the season. A big kid, too. I was watching him before the game. He's got a good arm. I'm really curious to watch both of these young men throw the ball tonight.
All right, De Hoyos has Mallard with him in the backfield, and Taft will turn and get their play from the coaching staff. We'll see if they run no huddle, see if they run that quick style. First and 10, and there's Mallard, and he tries to bounce it outside. He's got good speed, as you can see. He gets the 40 for a first down, cuts it back and gets over midfield. Christian Mallard, a gain of 21 on first down, and you see the offensive line. Jacob Escalante, the senior, is the bell cow of that offensive line right there for the Taft Raiders. Backs and receivers, as we said earlier, Mallard's the guy who just carried it. KJ Stevens is their big play guy, and Michael Cooper, number 3, leads them in receptions with 24 catches for 253 yards on the season. First down and 10 for De Hoyos. Again, looking for the play to the near side. Taft shifts it. And yet they go to Mallard again, and he's got more space, a gain of about 7 on the play before being dragged down by the big guy we talked about, Elijah Garcia, the 6'5", 260-pounder. As you look at that defense, look out for the 2 Elijahs. Elijah Earls, he's a college-level prospect, and Garcia has already committed to Rice. DeAnthony Carter, one of the top interceptors of all of San Antonio. 5 interceptions on the year by number 27. Second down, we'll call it 4. Malik Randolph split here to the right side. Talked a lot about KJ Stevens. He's in the slot at the top of your screen. Run option, De Hoyos will keep it. Garcia is all over him, and that's why he's a Division I prospect.
Yeah, you can see a lot of people in the box. I mean, you know exactly what you're going to get when you're lining up against Taft. You know, it's going to be a lot of number 33, but even having said that, a really nice drive here to start this football game.
Francisco Vasquez checks in at wide receiver. Meanwhile, De Hoyos will send Michael Cooper way to the top of your screen. He's their leading receiver with 24 catches on the year, and they've got him soloed up in coverage against DeAnthony Carter. What a great one-on-one matchup that is at the very top of your screen. De Hoyos hands to Mallard, tried to bounce it outside, instead sticks his nose ahead and picks up the first down. Got a flag on the play on the near side. We may have a face mask being added to the end of this. Now it looks like it's coming back against Taft. It's a procedure call. False start. Randy Wilson, microphone having some technical difficulties, so it's a 5-yard loss of the play. That'll set up 3rd down and 8 as the clock runs inside of 9:40.
It's a tough blow for Taft here. I mean, obviously, you just had a really nice run by Mallard, kind of breaking and doing his own thing and getting the 1st down, but it's all for naught. Now they're into 3rd and long.
Cooper and Randolph at the top of your screen. 2 more receivers to the near side. As De Hoya scrambles over the middle, gets away from a defender, but can't get away from number 8 coming up to make a really nice stop for that Stevens defense, and that's Ashton Smith.
So after they looked like they were going to get the 1st down and move the chains, now Taft's going to have to go back and punt the football and see if their defense can't do the same to Stevens.
Penalties will kill you in this game. On to punt it away is Jarrett Lopez. Back to return is DeAnthony Carter. Carter will wave for the fair catch and then let it bounce, and it gets out at the 15. When we come back, we'll see that high-flying offense led by that man right there, Bryce Rivers, the young junior quarterback, leads the Falcons in their 1st drive. You're watching Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back to a beautiful clear night at Gustafson Stadium. Stevens and Taft on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Taft's 1st drive stalled out about midfield. Now you're looking at Bryce Rivers, the junior quarterback. 1,800 yards on the season, 17 touchdowns. And he takes over 1st and 10. And he keeps it himself trying to get to the outside. Good athlete. Gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up 1 or 2. Take a look at that starting offense. Up front, Sean Lara, the center. Trayshawn Oliver, a big guy up front. Good offensive line. Devontae Donald is their quick running back. They also have a pounder and a fullback. Logan Mann is their big play guy. Huge addition to that football team.
Yeah, and they're missing their big weapon tonight, Xavier Ortiz. So that's going to be a little bit of a blow. He caught 60 balls last year. He's out with an MCL sprain.
Oh, that ball almost intercepted, and just zeroing in on it for Taft was number 6, Cameron Davis. He thought he had himself a pick 6. We'll take a look at that Taft defensive front. Matt Trefan and Jerry Bola up front, along with Adam Ruth. Rolando Vasquez is a linebacker. DeAnthony Carter, one of the top interceptors in town, number 27. He's also returns their punts. Davis thought he had one there, but instead it's 3rd down. Rivers throws underneath. It's caught. Trying to make a move and up towards the sticks, but short of a 1st down is number 15, and that's Terrell Wiley Ramsey. And the Falcons are going to have to punt it after going 3 and out on their 1st series.
So how about that? You know, we laud both of these offenses. You got to like some of the weaponry that both schools have to offer, and yet the defenses come out and forcing early punts.
Eric Pena will do the honors for the Stevens squad. Corey Rankin is back to return it, stands at about his own 35. Got to get enough bodies out there, and now they have a delay of game. Or timeout, rather, is called. All right, we'll take it with them. It's 0-0 here at Gus.
Yeah.
Traffic stack it up on Calabria and 410, but it's a beautiful night for football here. Gustafson Stadium as the Stevens Falcons will punt it away. As I said, Eric Pena doing the honors and Corey Rankin Back to return it for Taft. End-over-end kick that's going to take a hop at the 40. Rankin's got it there, but good special team coverage, but he busts it. Look out for Rankin. All he has to do is beat the punter, but the punter comes up and gets him down around the 41-yard line. Nice little return by Rankin. Didn't have a lot of space, but just split the defense.
Oh, it was a really quick jab step that he had in there. Trying to give the Raiders here a little spark, and as we said, Don, you know, you can look at their record and dismiss these guys, but I think that would be a very big mistake if you're going to do that. I mean, they've had to replace a lot of kids from last year, and they're building a lot, especially along the defensive line. They had to replace their entire defensive line, and this is a team that's getting better week in and week out.
First down and 10 for the Raiders. De Hoyos hands to Mallard. Mallard tries to bounce it. He's in big trouble with Elijah Garcia right there, as a host of Stevens Falcons were there. A loss of 5 on the play. Let's head down to a very hungry Mike Hernandez. Mike?
Hey guys, how's it going? We're having a little fun down here on the field. Okay, I got Victoria from Church's Chicken joins us, our proud sponsors of Thursday Night Lights. How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
All right, so you got, man, look at these things. You juice these things up. They got all kinds of powder on them tonight.
Yeah.
These are our tenders. This is with the kick, the zesty ones.
The zesty Texas Pete chicken tenders.
All right, so you also have something else. So you wanted to talk about 2 different other things that you have going, right?
Yes, we have 2 great family offers going on. The first one is an 11-piece of legs and thighs for $10, and the second one is our great meal deal, and it's a 16-piece with 3 sides for $20.
Okay, we're going to cut you a little short today because we just had a big play. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Mike. If there's one thing better than chicken, it's touchdowns. Michael Cooper extending to make a great catch of the Christian De Hoyos pass, and all of a sudden the Taft Raiders lead it 6-0, and they look to add on to that with Carlos Moreno. He's going to try to add the extra point. The kick is up. It is good, and Taft leads it 7-0. You know, it's Murphy's Law. Every time, whether it be the kids singing in recent years or Victoria, every time we throw down to Mike Hernandez, it's touchdown time.
Hey, that's cool. We should go do it more often.
Yeah, I think the team likes it. De Hoyos with a great pass, and then look at the extension.
Oh, not bad. I mean, on both ends, you're right. I mean, Taft, you could tell they're going to have to take some shots downfield because there's no doubt that Stevens is loading up to try to stop Mallard, and that's De Hoyos' 7th touchdown of the year. He throws a nice ball, and you talk about the catch, too, and I didn't know that Michael Cooper was still playing football. I thought he was that basketball guy from the Lakers back in the day. That was a sweet pitch and catch, no doubt, and a good start for the Raiders.
You know, interesting matchup there because the DB, Carter, is one of the best in town, but they have a definite size matchup there. You could tell Cooper had about 4 or 5 inches on him, and they may exploit that as we play on in this football game.
Oh, I mean, De Hoyos coming into this game had completed 66 passes out of his 105 attempts, so that was the 7th touchdown pass of the season. You can't go to sleep on the passing game. And like I said, this is a big kid, too, and he's got a good arm. You just saw it on display.
Tristan Castaneda and Carter are back now to receive the kick off the foot of Carlos Moreno. And now we have a stoppage. And we've got a timeout. We'll take a break with them. Taft leads Stevens 7-0. A little bit of a miscommunication there between the Stevens special teams and the lead official. Stevens didn't want the timeout, so they will not be charged with one. As Taft gets ready to kick off, Moreno only going to take about 3 steps here, so it'll likely be another one of those pooch kicks. And it's short, taken at about the 24-yard line and busting it up over the 45 near the 50 is Tristan Castaneda. He's stacked up there, and now we'll see Rivers again lead that Stevens Falcons offense onto the field. Talked a lot about Bryce Rivers, the quarterback, number 7, throwing for over 1,800 yards coming in, but keep your eye on 34, their running back, Devontae Donald. When they do run it, he's kind of their speed guy. Fred Williams is their fullback, who also plays back there, and he's more their red zone goal line package guy. As Chuck mentioned, Rivers a heck of a baseball pitcher as well.
Boy, is he smooth. I mean, everything is compact, lefty. I mean, same arm slot for every pitch. He's special.
And there's the guy we just talked about, Fred Williams, the bigger of the backs. Has 4 touchdowns on the year, and he picks up a nice gain of about 3. Sets up 2nd down and 7.
Tell you what, Taft is bowing up here early.
Eugene Torres in on the tackle, big nose guard. Rivers in the shotgun, rolling right. He's a lefty. He's going deep. Got a man. That ball is broken up and a little bit overthrown, but they're going to get a pass interference call on number 7. Don't know that I agree with that one, Chuck. He may have had his left arm around the receiver's waist. That may have been where they got him.
Yeah, Chance Kane, actually pretty good coverage. He was right there, but you're right. I think at the last minute, it looked like he took his offhand, which was his right hand, and ran it up the back of the receiver. So,
first down.
That's an automatic
Busted.
first down, and ball was overthrown. I think you can make the case that it was uncatchable as well, but to no avail. There'll be a penalty on Taft. Kane with good coverage there.
Yeah, and how about the arm strength of young Bryce Rivers? I mean, rolling to his right, flipping it downfield like it wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah, we watched him warm up, and what a great delivery he's got. Southpaw, he's slinging it. It had some heat on it.
Yeah, he throws a really pretty ball, you know. I hate to use the Warren Moon comparison because obviously Warren was right-handed, but Warren threw a really tight, pretty football too, and Bryce, not any wobble at all to that football.
Kind of a Mark Brunell kind of reminded me of him, his motion and being lefty. Look at that strike. Throwing it a dart, good for about 7 yards to Devin Martin. And you can see the fastball delivery of Rivers.
And talking to Coach Davenport from Taft all week, I mean, this is all he wanted to talk about was Bryce Rivers. And I mean, you heard him in the pregame talk about, all the kids he's seen on tape or seen in person. I mean, this kid really stands out, and this is really everybody's first chance to see him this year as a first-year starter as a junior.
And the junior fires to the near side, and it's caught, but not enough for a first down. Getting out of bounds is Terrell Wiley Ramsey. That's going to set up 3rd down and about 2. They come in with their big, strong back, Fred Williams, the senior, number 4. He's their goal line back. Wouldn't be surprised to see him here. Also checking into the ball game is number 42. And that's Elijah Earls. Of course, we talked about him being a defensive end. He may be blocking, though, for Fred here. They hand it to him. Gets to the 30, across the 30. First down, ball's loose. But jumping on top of it was Sean Lara, the center. A big recovery, and it's on the other side of the 30, so that'll move the sticks.
Or as you're an offensive lineman, you don't get a whole lot of love up there, but that's what you keep doing, play through the whistle. Right to the whistle, I should say. I don't want to play right through it, but really nice play here. Good heads-up play, and obviously Stevens needs it, down 7. They're trying to answer back the quick strike that Taft had on the last possession.
Ball came out, squirted about 5 yards, but the big alert center, Lara, saw it on the ground and did a great job of diving on it.
You see Taft getting a lot of guys to the football here early as well.
Empty backfield for Rivers, and now we got whistles.
Stevens.
And we got a
second
timeout by Stevens. That's their second of the half, which gives us time to tell you about our UIW Smile Can. Chuck, I think the Taft pep squad there heard you talking about their defensive line running to the football because they're happy. They're smiling.
And they should be. And, we talked to Coach Davenport this week. He kept talking about how this zone play has really kind of energized his whole team. You know, he said a lot of squads, when you get off to as bad a start as they did, and not in terms of how they were competing, because they were right there in all these football games, but man, you have a couple of close games or 2 or 3 games that don't go your way. He said, you know, there are a lot of teams that pack it in and don't stay the course, but he said it's been just the opposite of his kids. They come to work every day. He says he's got great kids. They're smart kids. They don't have any high maintenance kids. And I think it really shows. And, you know, they come out and they get a really big win on the scoreboard last week. And, you know, here's a Stevens team that's had essentially 2 weeks to prepare for them. And they've come out and really done some nice things here in this first quarter.
1st and 10 for Rivers. At the 30, looking left, now rolls that way. Wants to throw it, flags fly. Gets past the 30, but the head referee may have seen a hands to the face against the defense. Typically you get a holding call there, but let's see what the call is.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty. First out.
Stevens' offensive line wanted a hands to the face on the defense, but that's probably because they were being held, and that's what Randy saw. He'll back them up.
Well, before the hold, you know, we're just talking about if you watch that play and it's breaking down and you see Rivers rolling to his right, Don, didn't look like he was going to be able to run forever, but 28, Adam Ruth doing a really nice job of hanging in there and stopping that play cold. And then, of course, Taft gets another break. There was a hold on the play.
Both these teams shooting themselves in the foot here early with penalties. 3 receivers to the left. The guy to keep your eye on is 25 at the very bottom of your screen, Logan Mann. He's their big play guy as Rivers has his right tackle jump. Big number 66, Trayshawn Oliver, just came out of his stance. But it may have been encroached. Let's listen to the call. It's going to be on the defense. Either they mocked the signals or they encroached and allowed, or caused rather, Oliver to come out of his stance.
Disconcerting signals on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
Dude, you got rabbit ears?
Disconcerting signals. Like you could see him talking to the Taft defender, saying you can't do that. And usually when they do that, that's what they're doing. They're saying hut hut, trying to get the Taft offensive or the Stevens offensive line to think it's their quarterback talking. Rivers wants to go deep. Now bails out of that throw. Now slings it deep, and that ball is going to be underthrown and almost intercepted. Short hopped as he was looking for Terrell Wiley Ramsey. Good coverage there by Chance Kane, who almost had a pick.
Yeah, really, I think that's one the young man would like to have back right there. I mean, he did a really good job avoiding the pressure, but once he eluded that first guy, you got to find a way to get rid of that ball or make sure it's not anywhere close to the defender and live to fight another day here on 2nd down.
2nd and 15 for Rivers. Play action, he's in trouble, fires over the middle, got a man, but it's incomplete. Again, underthrown as he was looking for Taron Dominguez. That sets up 3rd and 15 in the Taft defense. Great coverage, Cameron Davis there again.
Yeah, he wanted to complete it downfield, but 75 of Taft had other ideas. Bryce Cedio, I mean, he came right up the middle, and man, it's tough to throw when you got a big lineman barreling down in your face. A really nice job getting pressure right up the middle.
Yeah, Taft's defense has been very solid tonight. Eugene Torres there anchoring that defensive front. Sets up 3rd and 15 for Rivers. He's got man in the slot down here who goes in motion. Keep your eye on man. They throw it to him out there. He's explosive. Gets to the corner, but not enough for the first down. Gets back to the original stick. Driven out of bounds by Cameron Davis. That sets up 4th down, but they're in that no man's land, and they may end up going for it here as the ball's spotted right at the 30.
Jody McAllister as well, number 31, Don. Watch him. He's out here on the edge. He's fighting through a block there and was able to get there and help force the ball runner out of bounds.
4th down and 10 at the 30, and Darrell Hemphill showing no signs of punting this away. Keeping Rivers out there. Mann is split out here to the near side along with Joshua Shelley, who now goes back to the right side. They'll set up trips right. Shelley along with Riley Ramsey and Devin Martin. And now Taft wants to take a timeout.
Yeah, it looks like Stevens did. Don't look like
Oh,
there was
Stevens.
mass
Timeout of the
confusion.
half.
So they've used all 3 timeouts here in the first quarter. And that includes the one that they didn't take when the kid called for it on special teams. Hey, it's time to tell you about our cheer challenge powered by CPS Energy. Time is running out for the San Antonio Sports All-Star Cheer Challenge. It's powered by CPS. 4 local high school cheer squads will win the opportunity to cheer at the San Antonio Sports High School All-Star Football Game on Saturday, January the 9th. Cheer sponsors and administrators can register your cheer squad by visiting cw35.tv. Chuck and I will have a call of the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game on Army All-American Bowl Saturday. We've got the National All-Star Game for you on NBC, followed up by the local All-Star Game right here on the CW35. 4th down and 10 for Rivers, completely empty backfield. 3 receivers, as you can see, to his right. Mann is soloed up here to his left, and now Mann's going to go to the right too. Fake him. Running for his life is Rivers. Frees himself. Now goes deep. He's got a man in the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown. He had 2 receivers back there. Terrell Wiley Ramsey, the man closest to the play, a 30-yard score. He had his pickings. Devin Martin was back there as well. I thought he was throwing it to Martin in the back of the end zone, but Wiley Ramsey comes up and catches it.
Unbelievable play by Bryce Rivers to start this thing. I mean, he breaks outside and then has the presence of mind. I mean, Taft had a guy out there that was able to set the edge. He stepped up, and then somehow, you're right, 2 receivers got by the last line of defense. Throw it up, something good happens, and just like that, we're a PAT away from having a square ball game.
You said look out. It had all the makings of a close one. Don't look at the records. Taft, 2-5 overall, but they've been in some very close games. Some heartbreaks. 43-42 loss, touchdown loss to Churchill. On to kick the extra point is Eric Pena. Hold is good and down, and the kick is up, and it is good, and we are all tied up. 2:27 left to play in the first quarter here at Gustafson Stadium, and we're all knotted up. As you see Rivers rolling to his left, did a great job getting free, and then you see that arm strength. Throwing it to 2 different backs.
Yeah, Jerry Beulah, Leo Diego back there for Taft. Almost had themselves a quarterback sack, or at least, way to put some more pressure on him before he wanted to get rid of the football. But just a really nice job right there by that young man, finding a way to keep the play alive until his receivers were able to get downfield. And then you see the arm strength even on the run, man. He had no problem flipping that thing downfield for the 6.
So we're all tied up. That play, a 9-play drive, 57 yards. 2:27 left to play. Stevens has burned all 3 of their timeouts in the opening quarter. And Mallard and company will get a chance to have it back, and big running back also returning the kicks. For the Raiders, as I told you earlier, he had an 85 and a 95-yard return for touchdowns against Churchill. So this kid can do it all.
Boy, can he. And I mean, like I said at the beginning of the show, as wonderful an athlete as he is, I think that he's got the smarts, too, to go any one of the service academies. He's got his pick of the litter right now. I mean, wow, what a wonderfully gifted young man. I'm sure his parents are very proud.
He's back. He won't get a chance to return this as Michael Cooper comes up with it, but a fair catch was called for by his teammate. And so Cooper and company will take over at the 29 as we send it down to Mike Hernandez on the sideline. Mike?
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm joined by John Dominguez, and he's the band director for Stevens. How are you doing?
Doing great.
First, congratulations on what you guys have been accomplishing out there. You were telling me you've competed in a couple of contests the last few weeks and done very well.
It's been great. We went to the U.S. Bands competition a few weeks back and got first place in the Group 6 area, and the Rough Rider Marching Contest first place in the 6A division. So we've had a great season. It's been a lot of fun.
Okay, so I'm anxious. I'm excited to to see. What are we going to see at halftime then?
You're going to see an alien invasion show, and we're going to have some classical music, we're going to have some rock music, we're going to have some original music, lots of sound effects, lots of visuals, lots of choreography. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, well, listen, I look forward to it, man.
Thank you very much.
This is the same one you're going to be using to compete, right?
Yes, same
And
UIL.
UIL?
Yes, and that'll be this Saturday here at Gus Stadium.
All right, well, good luck on that, too.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for what you do. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Mike. As Mallard bowls his way ahead for about 3. Got ourselves a tie football game here with 2:12 left to play in the first quarter. And Chuck, you know, I'm the uniforms are.
Yes.
And I got to say, I like both uniforms here tonight. Not a fan of ripping off other people's logos like the Texas Rangers, but I like the white sleeves and the strange numeral font for Taft.
See, and I like it. I think it's cool.
Yeah, no, I do.
Reminds me of baseball.
I do. That's the only thing I don't like. I like the sleeves and I like the font. Very cool as Mallard pulls ahead. Elijah Garcia on the tackle, big number 90 in there. You can see why he's a Rice commit. 6'5", 260 pounds. He takes up a lot of space on that defensive front.
Yeah, that's an NFL body right there, man. Sticks out a little bit on the high school field, that's for sure. And then he's got the smarts to go with it as well. Must be nice.
If you're going to Rice, you got to have the
I
smarts.
guess that's pretty redundant. That's right.
They don't recruit dummies. Third down and short, about 3 yards to go for De Hoyos. Mallard's in the backfield with him, along with Justin Stevenson. And this one's Stevenson as he pulls for the 40. If he's got the 40, he's got the first down. Again, Garcia with the tackle. And actually on the carry that time, it was KJ Stevens, their receiver, that they moved over there to back. And KJ's one of the explosive players. Doesn't have a lot of touches, but when he does, he's had good results.
Yeah, and isn't it interesting too, Don? You know, they have the one deep ball downfield that got him into the end zone. And then all of a sudden, you know, other things start to open up a little bit easier. And, you know, right now, Taft is doing a really nice job in this ball game.
James Brooks among those split left. They've got Cooper soloed up at the bottom of your screen. One-on-one coverage, and they like him. They're going to go his way again for the second time tonight. And Cooper makes the grab. No, it's incomplete at the very last second. You got to control it all the way to the ground. And DeAnthony Carter there breaking it up. The same matchup that went for a touchdown earlier tonight. Would have gone for another, but just a little bit too much air under this one from De Hoyos.
Yeah, you know, I mean, he did all he could getting rid of the ball. He had a man in his face, so it was a really nice ball given the circumstances. And again, you know, really tough play to be able to hold that ball all the way through the ground, especially when 27's jarring the hand in there. So nice recovery by him.
If they had replay in high school football, that might be a catch. He had full possession, was down, and that ball came out really late. But they don't have replay in high school football, so it's second down and 10. You got to tip your cap to Carter fighting all the way through the end to rip it out.
Absolutely, and that size mismatch is definitely an advantage for Taft.
Here's Mallard. Great feet. Look at his
patience.
Yeah, patience and quick feet, power.
Just smooth. And I'm telling you what, man, this kid is really compact. And just the vision and the patience and everything else, I mean, he looks like a next level running back. I think everybody is aware of that. It's like we were talking to Coach Hemp before the game. He's like, man, I'd love to run the ball as much as these guys do. I'd like to have this kid as my running back. Who wouldn't?
I guess so. Hey, we're all tied up at 7. Taft and Stevens in a good one at Gustafson Stadium. That's the end of the first quarter. We're back with the second quarter on the CW35. You're watching Church's Chicken Thursday Night Live. Welcome back to Gustafson Stadium. Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights presented by Baptist Emergency Hospital. Don Harris, Chuck McAtenick, Mike Hernandez with you. Time for our Wilkes Air Conditioning and Heating first quarter highlights. The Stevens Falcons came out with a 5-1 record and showed some good defensive play early. And then Taft scored. Michael Cooper with a 48-yard touchdown pass before Bryce Rivers hit Terrell Wiley-Ramsey on fourth down for a 30-yard score to tie it up, and that's where we stand, 7-7 at the end of one. Chuck, as we take a look at our first half stats, what sticks out to you?
Well, obviously, I mean, the fact that I think a lot of people look at Taft's record and said, okay, this is going to be a blowout, but obviously they came out and draw first blood, and then Stevens on a huge fourth down play. They're one big play, and they're back in this thing.
De Hoyos play fake to Mallard. Fires deep over the middle. He's got a wide open KJ Stevens to the 5. Touchdown, Taft. KJ Stevens ran right down the middle of the field. Nobody had him, and De Hoyos put it right on the money for a 49-yard touchdown.
Don, we've got the Taft coaches in the booth right next to us, and they went absolutely bananas. Not before the throw, but right before the throw. That's because watch the block by 33 Mallard when we get a replay.
Flags fly as Stevens jumped. If it's on Stevens, it will stay 14-7. I believe it was on Stevens. Carlos Moreno with the extra point, and KJ Stevens with the touchdown. And on the replay, you're looking for 33, as Chuck was talking about. It is against Stevens, so the extra point is good. It's 14-7 Raiders. Let's take a look at that replay, and we'll see what you're talking about. In the backfield, picked it up a little late there, weren't able to see it.
Just a tremendous block. I mean, the pressure was coming right up the middle. And Mallard met the guy that was trying to get to the backfield and absolutely just stoned him cold. Great block. Gave his quarterback time to throw the football. And because of that, look at Taft. And we talked about Mallard, and they've come out and hit some big ones down the field. Some explosives in this game already.
Yeah, I told you KJ Stevens doesn't have a ton of touches, but when he does, they're explosive, and he's got another one, another touchdown for him. That's his 6th on the year on only 17 catches on the season. So it's not a bad percentage. 18 catches for the year. Every third ball he catches goes for 6.
And obviously, Taft is opening up the playbook here tonight and showing Stevens a little bit of everything. I mean, I bet Stevens didn't think they were going to come down and get gashed like this for 2 big ones to start this game. And, again, you can talk about the record, but if you look at the record and go to sleep on these guys, they're going to knock you in the face. And you're certainly off to a good start tonight.
Here's another one of those pooch kicks. Carter's got it at the 30, spins, reverses his field, tries to beat Stevens all the way over there, and KJ misses the tackle, but he slowed him down enough for his teammates to get there. And I tell you what, that's a long way to run 60 yards to pick up the same 3 that you would have picked up had you gone straight ahead.
And I thought I was watching a video game, and the guy was taking all these extra bullets. You couldn't get him on the ground.
Let's go down to Mike Hernandez. Mike.
All right, welcome. Hey, I got some folks I want you to meet. This is Nova and Arnold Olivares. Gold Financial Services is, of course, our sponsor for our Scholar Athlete, and Nova works there. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing. So you said you've been there for a while. It must be great to work for a company that not only understands, things like athletics and how important that is, but what happens in the classroom, and for them to be our Scholar Athlete means a lot. And you've been working there for how long?
15 years I've been with Gold Financial.
Wow. What kind of an experience is that?
Great. I wouldn't leave anywhere else. It's good people. We're local grown, so we give to our community. We are really interested in the youth, and that's what we're here today to cheer on our kids.
Yeah, and you said you guys hadn't been on the field in a while, so this is exciting, huh?
Yes, we're grandparents. We haven't been around.
I hear you. And she actually was at Jefferson. We both graduated from Jefferson. We were there actually at the same time. Of course, she was a lot younger than me. But anyway, thank you guys for coming by. Nova, thank you so much. God bless. All right, we're going to send it back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike. Our thanks to Gold Financial Services for their sponsorship of our Scholar Athletes that we bring to you at halftime. First down and 10 for Rivers. Hands it inside, and a gain of about 3 to Devontae Donald, who coming into the night's ball game had 62 carries and 3 touchdowns, but didn't really touch the ball much in the first quarter.
I was going to say, Don, Taft getting a lot of guys that are really swarming to the football and playing with a little extra pep in their step to start this football game.
District play underway. Their district playoff hopes rest on tonight's game. They've already have 1 district loss. Second down and 8. Play action. Rivers fires. What a great delivery. That time he gets it across the 40. He's still fighting before about 6 Raiders get there as Fred Williams But I mean, that ball comes out of Rivers' hand and it's coming out hot.
Yeah, he does have nice feet, nice arm, everything, and it's going to be interesting to see where his future is as a football player or a baseball player. But like I said, he's got a little bit of everything, and he's doing both very well right now.
Chuck, as the kids say, he can spin it.
Indeed.
Watch the velocity and the rotation of that football.
And I think he owes a lot to Bobby Chacon, last year's quarterback. You know, I had to sit and watch Bobby do his thing last year, and he's obviously has taken a lot of those lessons and made him his own.
Throws it out of the backfield. Wide open is Williams to the 50 to the 45 across midfield for a Gold's Gym first down. Nate Martinez there on the tackle. 17-yard gain, and the Falcons are on the move.
How about Fred Williams here? A lot of speed, but doesn't look like he wants to go down easily either.
Good play call. Little misdirection. Had a guy coming on a jet sweep this way, and they roll out the other way. To Rivers, his left side, which is his strong side, being a left-hander. As I said, a Gold's Gym first down for the Falcons. 3 wide to the right-hand side. Coming this way, and ball's incomplete. Official ruled that Taryn Dominguez trapped it. So it'll be second down and 10.
He had him open just a little low.
Stevens going with that pink socks to support breast cancer awareness. Interesting situation there this week with their coach. We'll talk about that later. Carol Hemphill, battling prostate cancer himself, and has been doing so for the last year, and didn't make it known public to anyone until this week. He was diagnosed 1 year ago, the week of the Taft game, and as people were starting to put on shirts and on different poster boards around the school about who they're running for and who they're supporting, somebody put, "I'm running for coach." And it kind of leaked out there at Taft High School that he had been battling prostate cancer. Rivers firing deep, got a man caught to the 10. Great throw by Rivers, and out of bounds inside the 10-yard line is Logan Mann.
Dropping dimes.
A 31-yard pass and catch.
Couldn't have thrown it any better, Don, if he was 2 feet away from him. I mean, right in stride, and then a really nice job there at the tail end of that play by Justin Elmore, getting him on the ground and saving the touchdown.
Inside the Vantage red zone, Vantage College, changing lives through education and job placement. We've got a timeout on the field, and we got ourselves a football game. Stevens trails Taft by a touchdown, but they're on the move in the red zone. You're watching Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. We're back at Gustafson Stadium. Stevens just 9 yards away from tying this thing up. 9:12 to play here in the second quarter. Welcome to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Glad to have you with us. I'm Don Harris along with Chuck McAtenick and Mike Hernandez down on the field. Bryce Rivers, the junior quarterback for Stevens, has a full backfield with him now on 1st and goal. There's the hand to Donald. He picks up 2. Good defense again by the Taft front. Justin Elmore, the strong safety, coming up to put a lick on him.
Hey guys, just a quick note. I was just remembering something that Coach Hemphill said. Having that week off might make him a little rusty. It certainly looks like Stevens at this point has moments. They have flashes, but they are showing a lot of rust from having that week off.
All right, thanks, Mike. Second down and goal. Rivers did a great job to get rid of it, just off the hands of his intended receiver. Looked like the big fullback, Dorian Littlejohn.
Taft doing a really nice job, Don, of making him stay inside the pocket on that particular throw. And he likes to get outside, move his feet, and throw on the run, which is obviously reminiscent of a lot of baseball players, but man, really nice job of keeping him in the pocket. And that's a tougher throw to complete at that point.
Sends guys in motion now on 3rd down. Looking left all the way, throws over the middle, and it's caught for a touchdown. Is that Mann? Logan Mann, and man, is he good. Another touchdown, and he paid for it.
7-yard touchdown.
A 7-yard touchdown catch by Logan Mann, and once he shakes this one off, he's going to add his 11th touchdown to the season.
Look at the missile release, and then, as you said, I mean, Logan takes a shot not only on the back end, but the front end as well. I mean, he knew he was going to get hit, but a testament to his fortitude, hanging in there, knew he was going to take a shot, took a couple of them, and then still showed up the strong hands, hauled in the football, tucked it in, just like that. We got us a football game again.
Eric Pena on to add the extra point. That kick is up, and that kick is good, and we're all tied up. It's 14-14, Stevens and Taft. Logan Mann trying to get his bearings, but boy, what a great player. 31 catches on the year, 780 yards, and now 11 touchdowns. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're looking at Logan Mann, who just scored that touchdown. The trainer's looking at his left knee. Hope he's okay. It's his 3rd catch, 43 yards and a touchdown tonight. Mallard is back to receive the kick for Taft.
We're certainly hoping he's okay, because Stevens likes to throw the football. They're already down 1 receiver tonight. They can ill afford to lose another.
Michael Cooper will catch it for 25. He's got a touchdown already tonight. You can see his good feet for a guy his size, down to the 35, and let's go down to Mike Hernandez.
All right, also we are keeping an eye out, and we're looking forward to halftime because we're going to see the Taft Raiders perform as well. This is Amanda Stevenson. She's the band director. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
So you were saying likewise, you guys have been very successful here in the weeks leading up and some of the contests getting ready for UIL.
We have. The kids have been performing really well these last few weeks. We're headed into our last contest coming up. UIL, we're on at 2 o'clock here at Gus Stadium, and kids have been having great, successful weekends.
So it's going to be a little bit different tonight because it's homecoming. So tell us about that.
Yeah, for our halftime performance, we're really just going to be doing a nice, beautiful piece for the homecoming court, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. We will do a post-game show, and our show is entitled Tribal Spirit, and it's lots of African drumming, very percussive, heavy, and really good fun, lots of energy.
I'm looking forward to it, and again, thank you for what you do.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Back to you guys.
2 words I know Chuck Mikatinik likes more than most, and that is percussive heavy.
And tribal. I dig all that stuff. You know it, brother. Lay it down. Lay it down hard.
For those of you who don't know, I share a cubicle next to Chuck, and I listen to his music most of the day. It is very percussive. For you. 1st down and 10, ball spotted at the 40. Cooper's single covered here at the bottom of the screen by himself. He's got that mismatch again with Carter. Although Carter's very good, it's about a 4-inch difference in height. De Hoyos instead hands to Mallard, who hits the hole and goes backwards. And boy, number 90 takes it. It's like running into a brick wall with Elijah Garcia there.
Yeah, blowing that stuff up early, and man, it's not easy to do. I mean, we talked about Mallard and how good he is, man. That's just 2 guys right there, the irresistible force and the immovable object going toe-to-toe, and these battles are going to be going on all night long, and there's a reason why this game is 14-14. This is a nice, interesting battle we've got on our hands tonight.
Yeah, that was quite a collision. Stevens lined up in the slot. 14, he scored on that 50-yarder on the last drive. Cooper's to the outside. He scored earlier. And De Hoyos looked their way, and now he's running for his life and just gets rid of it. It's a smart play as he took a shot after the throw. James Houston and Elijah Earls back there in the backfield. We talked a lot about 42 in the pregame. Elijah Earls, and you can see he's another one of those guys that's a college prospect for Stevens. And 42 got back there, beats his man, and he had him running for his life. Gets there to take him down just after the play, but you can see the size of Elijah Earls.
And you know it's going to make Taft's job very, very difficult if they can have just 4 guys rushing the quarterback and then have the other 7 playing down on the other side of the field.
3rd down and 9 as De Hoyos looks this way, and then he is sacked. It's the Elijahs that got him. Elijah Earls and Elijah Garcia. We set it up in the pregame. Look out for those 2 guys, and they decided to meet at the quarterback.
That's tough because pressure was coming everywhere, up the front and on the sides. And probably at the end of the day, if you look at you're trying to analyze the play as it goes down, I mean, it was probably his best bet. Just take it and see if you can't get him back sometime later in the football game.
Yeah, and D'Anthony Carter is back to receive this punt, but San Antonio Sports All-Star Game, we've been talking about the cheer challenge. We announced the players that will be participating in that game, and both of the Elijahs will be in that senior All-Star game. As Carter makes the fair catch at about the 37. We had the announcement made today, and you see from Stevens, Elijah Earls, 42, and Elijah Garcia, 90. And then we've already seen these 2 kids make a play tonight. Christian Mallard, the big running back, number 33, and Cameron Davis, that safety who just almost had a pick 6. As you see the 2 young men from Taft honored tonight, wearing their all-star jerseys. That's Mallard on the right, running back.
Yeah, it's a great deal, Don. I mean, I know you look forward to doing the game as much as I do. The fact that you get 2 games for the price of 1. Starts off with the U.S. Army All-American Bowl, and then we get to do our own guys. It's really a lot of fun and a great way to spend the afternoon on a Saturday. And, if you're a fan and you're looking for some, affordable family entertainment, we hope to see you down there come January.
Yeah, San Antonio Sports puts it on and does a great job. And, the big recipients of this whole deal are the families of the players and also the players themselves. A lot of these kids who are not major Big 12 or Power 5 conference recruits sometimes get recruited and scholarships right there on the field from smaller schools, as that one is thrown on a line and caught by Devin Martin. Nice pickup of a 1st down for Bryce Rivers, who threw it right on the money. A lot of these kids who could play small college ball, let's say, an Abilene Christian or a Howard Payne or a TLU, a lot of those schools are looking for good players, and they find these kids in that All-Star game right there at the very end of their high school career. 1st and 10 for Rivers. Inside handoff to Donald. Ball's out. Taft's got it. The Raiders cause a turnover, and it's Taft's football as the defense came through, knocked it out, and then Jerry Bula making the recovery, big number 51. Let's see who caused it, because it was a hard strip.
Yeah, it was Matt Trappin, number 61, came through with a clean shot. Check him out. Bam, right there, and ball's on the ground. 61 causing that fumble, and I think he's a little turned up about it. Nice work, young man.
Here come the Raiders. 5:52 to play in the half. The big underdog coming in, and De Hoyos ready to take care of business on the offensive side. So many times after a turnover, you see a coach go for it. He's got Michael Cooper soloed up on Carter at the top of your screen. Instead, he hands to Mallard. Mallard bounces it outside. He's got some room, picks up a 1st down, gets the stick inside Stevens' territory down at the 45.
You look at his body size, Don, it is absolutely amazing what kind of functional speed he has. I mean, he can get going in a hurry. I mean, then you think about trying to tackle somebody like that when he's got a full head of steam. No thanks. I'm trying to get him out of bounds, just, angle him that way. I don't want to get hit by that guy, not with that much force coming at you. My goodness.
8 carries for 49 yards. Taft in rhythm. They'll pause for a second to get the play this side of the field. De Hoyos saying, hey, coach, where are we running? He's got Malik Randolph on this side. Instead, there's Mallard again, and Elijah Garcia and company there to bring him down. No gain on the play.
Really nice job that time by Stevens. They got to answer back now with their defense. Really stoning at that front part of the line there. James Johnson, 33, doing a nice job. Also, Nathan Montez. Those guys bringing a lot of hats to the party on that one.
You're looking at our UIW Smile Cam. Earn a degree of difference at the University of the Incarnate Word. Our thanks to UIW for sponsoring Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights again. The Taft Raider cheerleaders with a lot to smile about right now as the Raiders got a turnover and De Hoyos fires over the middle, or looks to. Now he keeps it. Now he rolls to his right. He's brought down there after a gain of about 3. Ashton Smith in a full pursuit, coming off his assignment on the right side to come in and make the tackle.
Really nice job by Christian De Hoyos that time. Again, the pocket was collapsing. He stayed back there as long as he could, and look at his head. Looking downfield the entire time until he had to tuck it down and run with it the last second. So that was one of those deals right there that could have easily been a negative play, but at least he was able to turn it upfield and get a 1.5 yards out of it.
De Hoyos also with good size, good poise. Cooper's in the slot on the left side. He's got Mallard behind him. Play action to Mallard. Now he looks this side, fires on an out route. What a great catch by Michael Cooper. Inside the 25-yard line, a 17-yard gain, a Gold's Gym first down, and a highlight by Michael Cooper.
Now we've seen the Stevens quarterback throw against his grain and throw on the run and make it look pretty easy. Same with Christian De Hoyos. Squares his shoulder, throws a rocket downfield. You're right, that was a heck of a catch, Don. Wasn't sure he was going to be able to go up and get that, but he is Michael Cooper.
Not a whole lot of guys on this field could have made that grab. He's long and he's got great athleticism. His second great catch tonight, that touchdown was an amazing extension. A Gold's Gym first down as the Raiders look this way to get the play call. Stevens is back there with Mallard. There's the handoff to Mallard. He's got room across the middle, inside the 20, inside our Vantage College red zone before he's brought down by Elijah Earls. Vantage College, changing lives through education and job placement.
It's just so smooth and so silky with the football, isn't he? Just makes it look so easy when he's toting the rock.
Looks like he's on one of those moving sidewalks at the airport.
I agree.
It's effortless how he doesn't look like he's running hard yet. He's taking up a lot of room.
Yeah, chewing it up quickly as well.
Second down and about 3. Play comes in. Logan Mann back in on the right-hand side. Instead, they'll give it to this side to KJ Stevens, and coming up to make the tackle for Stevens is Elijah Earls, 42. Little misdirection that way to KJ Stevens. Short of the first down. It's going to set up third down and a long 1.5 yards, maybe 2.
You see Coach Davenport, you know, this is what you want to try to do. You want to go down and get some points, obviously, but you're also trying to erode that first half clock. Maybe if you do it right, you can limit Stevens and not give him the ball back.
I'd take my chances with 33 here. On third down and 1, I haven't seen anything tonight to make me think that 33 can't pick up a yard. But instead, they're going to want to talk it over. Timeout Taft. We'll keep it right here. We'll tell you about our cheer challenge brought to you by CPS Energy. 4 local cheer squads will get a chance to participate in that U.S. Army All-American game and San Antonio Sports All-Star game. It's the San Antonio Sports All-Star Cheer Challenge presented by CPS Energy. Administrators and cheerleader sponsors can register your team at www.cw35.tv. Better get in now. You get the votes, and maybe your squad can join us at the Alamo Dome on January 9th. Here's some of the players that are going to be playing in that game. Some of the best players from around town. Some have scholarships. Some of those names very popular, especially on the right-hand side. Dominic Ramsey from Judson. Cade Dial, the quarterback from Kerrville-Tivy, was a statewide player of the week last week. Best names in town, DeAndre Reed. We saw him in week 1 from Churchill in the Gucci Bowl. What an explosive young player he was. Third down and 1. Here's Mallard. It's Stevens across the 15 for a first down. KJ Stevens with a little misdirection and a good play call there with Elijah Garcia and everybody in the building thinking it was going to 33. KJ Stevens picks up the Gold's Gym first down. Elijah Garcia may have been nicked up a little bit on that one, but he's staying in there.
I'm really impressed with what Taft has done so far in this ball game.
Trips right, Cooper to your left-hand side, single covered. And it's Carter on him again. He's looking his way again. Throw a jump ball to him, and he was covered up very nicely by 27. Those two have had a good battle tonight. We said coming into this ball game that we thought he was one of the best quarters in town, DeAnthony Carter.
Yeah, DeAnthony Carter's a transfer from East Central, and Coach Hemphill was really excited to see him show up at his doorstep before the season started. I mean, he talked about the picks, 5 or 6. He had 2 in one game. I mean, just a special athlete, and like Stevens needed any help.
You could read Coach Hemphill's lips there. He's saying to his DBs, pass, pass. He's got trips right, including Stevens and Mann. Instead, they run Mallard right up to Miller in middle. And Mallard is across the 15, across the 10, down to about the 8-yard line. Nathan Montez there to wrap him up.
This is where you get kind of Taft can get you on the ropes. I mean, they've already shown that they can pass and catch the ball tonight with a couple of big explosive plays in the passing game. And then, of course, you have to respect the game of Mallard, one of the best running backs in the area.
De Hoyos goes in motion. This is a wildcat to Mallard. Mallard keeps. Mallard to the 4 on 3rd and about 4, and he picks up the first down. Let's see where they spot it. Oh, they're going to spot it just...
Wow.
I don't know, not short.
Yeah, it looks a little
The
short.
guy with the stick is got it in the wrong place. But it is 4th and a foot.
Less than 1 for the Raiders on the back and 5-yard line.
And all this is going on. Clock continues to wind.
Yeah, I don't think they're in any hurry here at all. And Coach Davenport calls timeout right there. Hey, coming up on the Alamo Cycleplex halftime show, you'll hear from the Stevens Band. Hey, it's the Taft Homecoming. You're going to hear Somewhere Over the Rainbow as we'll see the Taft Homecoming Court presented. And then stick around for our Gold Financial Services Scholar Athletes. You know, some say it's the best part of the show. Those who love the bands. You don't see them on TV anymore on the national college broadcasts. But we bring them to you here on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights, and you can see the ladies all ready to go. Their time is coming, the High Steppers. Chuck, we talked about Taft being just 2-5 on the year, but the only record that matters is that second column. And you see they only have 1 district loss. And if they can knock off Stevens here tonight, they would cause all kinds of heck in Zone A. Everybody would have at least 1 loss except for Brennan.
And that's why you got to give Coach Davenport and his staff all the credit in the world for kind of keeping the rudder on the ship. You know, there were a lot of reasons why Taft could have packed this thing in, but he's saying, hey, we got a 3-game season here, and we still hold our own destiny, and they're playing great football.
Wildcat again to Mallard. Picks up the first down.
How about some veteran savvy right there, huh?
And coach is saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. We're under a minute to...
Got plenty of time. Plenty of time.
And they still have 1 timeout.
Yeah, you don't want to score too quickly.
Well, they're gonna run that Wildcat again. Well, now De Hoyos lines up in the backfield, so they're not. De Hoyos is back in at quarterback. He was split right on the last 2 plays. Instead, he's going to fire, and he's going to be nearly sacked as the defender left his feet. They still have a timeout. Coach doesn't want to use it. He wants to line up and spike as Tristan Castaneda got back there.
Still got plenty of time. Don't have to panic.
They're going to spike this unless it's a fake spike. And De Hoyos does just that.
Holy moly, man. We had some people going airborne there. Ashton Smith? You kidding me? 360 and was still in on that sack.
I'd love to see that replay because he did climb the ladder.
Whee! Look at that, man. Tick a licking and keeps on ticking. He's in there to help finish him off.
Oh, man.
Super athletic play.
That's how you break an arm or rupture a spleen or something, the way he came down with that elbow.
Man, he's a
stuck in
football
his
player, I'll
ribs.
tell you what. That's a heck of a play right there. And I mean, you talk about Stevens bowing up and needing a big play right here to try to hold these guys to a field goal attempt. That was one of them. 35 seconds left.
3rd and goal. They still have a timeout. De Hoyos fires to the right side. Got KJ Stevens off his hands, incomplete. That stops the clock with 31 seconds to go. And Coach Davenport looks over to his special teams and says, let's kick it.
Oh, KJ Stevens did a really nice job, Don, breaking back towards the football to get himself open and give himself an angle to catch that football. Just wasn't able to quite haul it in.
Carlos Moreno will do the kicking honors. They will spot it at about the 16. We'll call it a 26-yarder. Here with 31 ticks left. Snap is good, hold is down, kick is up, and it's straight, and it is good. And the Taft Raiders lead the Stevens Falcons 17-14 with 31 ticks to play here in the first half at Gustafson Stadium. Good execution on that kick.
Without a doubt. I mean, if you're Taft, too, you'd sure love to have that touchdown going into the half, but hey, you got to take the positives. You're able to get a huge turnover and convert the turnover into points, and right now that's the difference in the football game with 31 seconds left to go in the first half.
So many times at the high school level you see a breakdown in special teams play, but boy, that battery couldn't have done it any better with the snap and the hold and the kick.
And isn't it interesting, too, you know, you talked to both coaches before the game and we get some keys to victory, and both coaches said they wanted to make something happen positive in the special teams tonight. So you know, all those little things, they kind of add up. And when you're talking about two teams that are seemingly pretty similar in a lot of ways in terms of, you know, the amount of talent that they can line up, sometimes those little special teams things are going to go a long way in a game like this.
So Stevens, with the big arm of Bryce Rivers, may have a chance here to test something out, especially with these little pooch kicks that usually give you pretty good field position around the 35. But Stevens burned all of their timeouts in the first quarter when they were a little discombobulated, so they don't have any time to work with. And I believe they get it back at the end, at the second half kickoff, and so they don't have much to play for here other than just running out this clock. High bounce, taken, good return across the 45 by Stevens.
Now you got to take a shot.
I think so. That's Joshua Robledo. You've got 26 seconds. You might as well throw a couple of sideline routes and see what you pick up. If you pick up 15 or 20 on play one, makes it a little interesting.
Yep, that's right. Or you can do, you know what a lot of teams do? You kind of do the old feel-out play, you know? You run a little draw or something, and then if you get a huge play or, you know, 15, 20 yards down the field, then you decide you can maybe go and spike it and get another play and see if you can't kick a field goal.
Looks like they're playing it pretty conservatively as they hand to Donald, and he gets the 50. And with no timeouts left, that'll probably be the end of the half. Darrell Hemphill knows he's getting that ball back when you kick off the second half. And so he plays it pretty conservatively. Mike Hernandez is going to catch up with Coach Davenport, whose team leads by 3. A very even first half. We told you it was going to be a good one, and it has been. Let's go down to the field with Mike Hernandez. Mike?
Coach, you said you were going to give them a fight tonight. You got to be happy with the first half.
Yeah, I am. Our kids are playing pretty well. You know, we got fortunate, we got a turnover there and turned it into some points. But we've made 2 big plays as well. You know, Christian's running well. There's no vulnerability on the running game with those guys. Number 90, those guys are really good, and they got them lined up right. So we're just trying to milk clock and keep it going and see if our plan will keep working with it. But we still got to contain number 7.
All right, well, good luck in the second half. Thank you.
Coach Brian Davenport doing a good job, and when we come back, we'll have our Alamo Cycleplex halftime show. Stick around. It's homecoming at Gustafson Stadium. We got ourselves a 17-14 football game. You're watching Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights, presented by Baptist Emergency Hospital on the CW 35.
Welcome to the Alamo Cycleplex Halftime Show.
Let's get right to it. Our Alamo Cycleplex halftime show. First up, the Stevens Falcons Marching Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, Northside Independent School District and the Stevens Department of Fine Arts are proud to present the sound of Northside, the 2015 John Paul Stevens
Falcon Marching Band. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Savannah Camacho, Olivia Agee, Athena Rodriguez, and Sarah Macias. The section of the week is the trumpet section. The students of the week are Valerie Chong, Sarah Coronado, Daniela Erejon, Dana Polk, Jaden Pachacano, and Amelia Zapata. Tonight, the sound will have their final halftime performance of Invasion. Come feel the sound at the UIL Marching Contest this Saturday at 4:30 p.m. here at Gus Stadium. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and get ready to feel the sound. Here they are, the 2015 John Paul Stevens Falcon Marching Band.
Very nice. That's the Stevens Falcon Marching Band. To vote for them for our Vulcan Material Company's $2,500 band grant, just text band 13. That's band 13 to 45203. That's band 13 to 45203. No spaces. And for complete texting guidelines, just go to cw35.tv/TNL. The $2,500 band grant made possible by Vulcan Materials Company. When we come back, it's Taft's homecoming here at Gus Stadium. They lead Stevens 17-14. We're back at halftime of Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Good one here at Gustafson Stadium. Taft leads Stevens 17-14. You're watching our Alamo Cycleplex halftime show, and right now it's time to recognize some great hard-working kids with tonight's Scholar Athletes of the Week. It's presented, as always, by Gold Financial Services.
Elijah Garcia is a 3-year starter on the Stevens High School football team and has played in the varsity basketball team since he's a sophomore. He's already verbally committed to Rice University, but what's driving him there might surprise you.
Oh, I took a visit down there and I just liked everything about it. The academics is always on top of my list, and I feel like going there would give me the best opportunities when I get older.
And this young man is very level-headed about his future plans as well. He'd like to go into real estate or maybe even architecture.
For me, it's just finding a great job and just being happy with whatever I do. You know, of course, everybody's dream at my age is, you know, go play in the league, but if that doesn't happen, you know, finding a good job would probably be best for me.
He's also an all-district academic and a member of the National Honor Society. He's also involved in the youth ministry at church, and if that's not enough, he enjoys doing work in the community.
Because, like, when you give back to the community, more people see who you really are, and that you're not doing it for anything but just for the greater good, I guess. That's the best.
Christian is a senior at Taft High School, and he's a busy guy. He plays varsity football, track, along with being in the robotics club and competing in the History State Fair. And being selected as a scholar athlete is something very special to him.
I felt good about it because that means my coach chose me, and there are a lot of smart kids on our team, and I like to compete with them academically and athletically. So knowing that he chose me to come here meant that he trusted me and that he believed in me and that he actually liked me enough to let me come here and represent our school.
And why wouldn't the coach want a young man like this to represent them? His sights are set very high for college as well. He wants to get into one of the military academies like West Point or the Air Force Academy.
I'm kind of following in my sister's footsteps because she actually did go to West Point, and then when they started approaching me, I wanted to do something that she did as well, and I wanted to challenge myself just like she did. So when they gave me the opportunity and talked to me about going to one of those schools, I was actually pretty excited about it.
And what words of wisdom does he have to share?
I tell them to do the thing that they want to do. Do it right the first time, don't procrastinate, and do what you need to do.
Congratulations to this week's Gold Financial Services Scholar Athletes, Christian Millard and Elijah Garcia.
You're watching the Alamo Cycleplex Halftime Show.
Oh, it's a big night here at Gus. Taft leads Stevens 17-14, and it's homecoming for the Raiders. Time to go down for the homecoming presentation, including the court. Will Chris Kotfus be king? We'll see. Let's go down to the field and hear the homecoming presentation.
In the Taft Raider Band drum line. The Taft High School sophomore class is represented by Kennedy Gibbons and Vincent Ciordia. Kennedy, the daughter of Dwight and Alicia Gibbons, enjoys participating in advanced technical theater and photojournalism. She hopes to attend the University of Texas at San Antonio. Vincent is the son of Jesus and Melanie Ciordia. He is a 7-time amateur boxing champion, currently ranked #1 in his division in the U.S. Representing the Taft High School junior class are Brianna Lopez and Keon Eagleton. Brianna is the daughter of Alex Lopez and Blanca Zino and plays on the Taft varsity soccer team. She hopes to attend the University of Houston, Victoria, and major in education. Key, the son of Khalid and Jessica Rashid, enjoys participating in theater arts. He hopes to attend the University of Washington to major in radiology. His goal is to be a successful parent and help the poor in his community. We now present the 2015 senior class nominees from Taft and Communication Arts High Schools. From these couples, a homecoming king and queen will be crowned tonight. Seniors representing Com Arts High School are Caroline Munoz, the daughter of Mauricio Munoz and Lisbeth Vasquez, is a member of the National Honor Society, student council historian, and editor of the yearbook. She plans to attend college at the University of Texas at San Antonio, majoring in communications with the goal of becoming a digital special effects technician. Gabriel Echeveste, Jr. is the son of Gabriel and Carolina Echeveste. Gabriel is a member of the Taft Raider Orchestra, National Honor Society, Spanish National Honor Society, Helping Hands, and Photography Club. He is planning on attending Texas State University, majoring in anthropology with the goal of becoming a forensic anthropologist. Cristina Quintanilla, the daughter of Thomas and Thelma Bruca, is the varsity captain of the Taft cheer team, is a member of PALS, and is the class of 2016 prom chair and a member of the National Honor Society. Christina plans to attend Purdue University and major in brain and behavioral science. Her career goal is to be a psychiatric researcher. Carlo Nicolas Garcia is the son of Santiago and Linda Garcia. Carlo is student council president, secretary of the Photography Club, Helping Hands, president of the Taft High School Varsity Orchestra, and National Honor Society Point Secretary. He intends to go to the University of Texas at San Antonio to major in broadcast journalism with a minor in communications. Carlo's career goal is to be an executive producer at a broadcasting station here in San Antonio. Renee Vasquez is the daughter of Rudy and Sylvia Vasquez. Renee is a member of the Taft Raider Marching Band, Concert Band, National Honor Society, and the Photography Club. She intends to study business and pre-law at the University of Texas at Austin, with the goal of becoming an attorney. Alex Guerrero, the son of Orlando Guerrero and Patricia Vargas, is a member of the National Honor Society, Taft Raider Band, and varsity soccer. He intends to go to Texas A&M at College Station and major in aerospace engineering. Alex hopes to one day become an aerospace engineer. And now the seniors representing Taft High School are Linda Granato, the daughter of Roy and Michelle Granato, is active in soccer and student council. She plans to attend Texas A&M San Antonio, where she will work towards a degree as a paralegal and one day become a lawyer. Jonathan Martinez is the son of Andres and Silvia Martinez. He enjoys basketball, plans to attend Northwest Vista to study fire technology. His goal is to become a firefighter. Carolina Tijerina is the daughter of Arturo and Melissa Tijerina. Carolina participates in cross-country and is a Nordstrom Board BP alumnus. Carolina plans to attend college at Texas State University to major in fashion merchandising. She hopes to one day become a fashion designer for children with disabilities. Dakota Godwin, the son of John Godwin, is a member of Taft Robotics. He hopes to attend Florida Poly to major in civil engineering and to become a civil engineer. Caitlin Westling is the daughter of Joel Westling and Michael and Alicia Hackenberg. Caitlin is active in varsity girls cross country and is the secretary of student council, vice president of the National Honor Society, and president of the National French Honor Society. Caitlin plans to attend Penn State, majoring in chemistry, and hopes to become a clinical pharmacologist. David Fonseca II, son of David Fonseca and Rebecca Torres, is the captain of the boys' varsity cross-country team and a member of varsity track. David is proudly enlisted in the United States Marine Corps with the goal of becoming a scout sniper. Now please, let's give all of our students in the homecoming court a warm round of applause. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for. The 2015 Homecoming King and Queen from Communications Arts are Alex Guerrero and Rene Vasquez.
All right, there's the King and Queen from Communication Arts. Congratulations to them. And now they're going to make the announcement for Taft.
David Fonseca and Linda Granato.
There you go. David and Linda, congratulations to the Homecoming King and Queen. That's a big deal. You know, because of the Homecoming King and Queen announcements tonight, we won't hear from the Taft band. The band will perform after tonight's game, and if time permits, we'll show you some of that performance. But we do want to remind you that you can still vote for the Taft Marching Band. All you got to do is text Band 14 to 45203. That's Band 14 without any spaces. For complete texting guidelines, go to cw35.tv/TNL. And again, we thank Vulcan Materials Company for that $2,500 band grant. Great halftime performance by both the Stevens Band and the Homecoming Court. And we got ourselves a great football game. When we come back, we'll kick off the second half. You're watching Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights on the CW35.
Cycleplex halftime show. Now, stay tuned for the second half of tonight's game.
Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. We are about ready for our Sears second half kickoff, but first, time to show you the halftime highlights, brought to you by Window Depot, saving America's energy one home at a time. Taft went ahead early as Christian De Hoyos hit Michael Cooper for 48 yards. That made it 7-0. They tied it up, but then De Hoyos went to KJ Stevens for a 49-yarder. Rivers got going. This touchdown to Logan Mann made it 14-all. And then Carlos Moreno added a field goal with about 31 seconds to go, and that's how Taft has a 17-14 lead. Here's a look at our Church's Chicken halftime stats, and as you would expect, Chuck, an even game all the way around.
No, it really has. I think the one surprise, Don, is that we expected Stevens to come out and throw the football, and they have tonight. But how about Taft with those two huge plays on the passing side of the football? They lead in total yards. They also lead in the scoreboard. A very well-played first half by both teams, and obviously one of the more entertaining games we've had in terms of being competitive that we've had all year.
All right, here's one of those short pooch kicks. That ball's live. DeAnthony Carter picks it up, spins back. He forgot about it for just a split second, and then he realized that could be an onside kick right there, and he did a good job of getting on the football.
After the kickoff, it will be Stevens.
Mike Hernandez talked to both coaches at the half. Let's go down and listen to Mike. What? Mike, what was the word?
Well, the word was sluggish. He said that pretty much described him, because anytime you got to use all your timeouts in the first quarter, there's something wrong with your team. And he also said that they're going to have to stop making mistakes. They're going to have to wake up. He doesn't know if it was the week off or what, but they need to correct it. He said they're getting beat at the line of scrimmage right now, and that's something that they have to change if they expect to win tonight.
All right, that's from Darrell Hempfield, the Stevens coach, as his quarterback, Bryce Rivers, rolls to his left. Looking deep, wants to throw it, finally unloads, and that ball's up in the air, tip drill, and it falls incomplete. Taryn Dominguez, the intended receiver. Cameron Davis on the coverage. Good pressure by the Taft defensive front as Matt Trefan got in there to disrupt it.
Yeah, and we also talk about the arm strength of Bryce Rivers. How many quarterbacks in town can stand flat-footed and throw an absolute P across the grid there? That was really nice.
That sets up second down and 10 as he sends three receivers to the left-hand side. Cameron Davis, the coverage there. He's got his favorite receiver, Logan Mann, to the right side, but he looks left. Fires out there. It's caught on one of those little bubble screens, and doing a good job to pick up about 7 is Terrell Wiley Ramsey.
Really good job by Wiley Ramsey right there, too. You know, he caught the ball, and then he was able to get it outside and essentially use his blocking receiver out there, and he picked off the guy that was trying to make the tackle over there. So good job outside, reading that ball and getting to the sideline.
Devin Martin split wide to the right on 3rd down and short. Instead, going left, a little back shoulder fade to Logan Mann, but it wasn't on the back shoulder. He got it anyway. Boy, another zip release and a 24-yard gain and a 1st down.
Well, this is what Coach Davenport from Taft was telling us his big concern was all week. It's one thing to be accurate with the football and have a strong arm and all the different things that Bryce brings to the table, but he can throw guys wide open. His arm is so good, and boy, tight window there, he still made the completion.
1st down and 10 as Stevens moves into Taft territory. He's got a little man in the flat, and it's incomplete as Donald leaked out there to the left-hand side and off of Devontae's hands, and so that'll be set up 2nd down and 10.
A good pocket presence there as well. I mean, feeling the pressure, stepping up, eluding the would-be tackler, and slinging it out there to the outside. Just couldn't make the connection. But again, you see a little bit about why they're so excited about having this young man not only this year to play quarterback, but next year as well.
Bryce Rivers, big, strong left-hander, pitches to Donald. Donald's got some space, gets across the 30, inside the 29. Nice little play call. Justin Elmore coming up to make the tackle, but not before it's a pickup of a Gold's Gym 1st down for the Falcons.
Boy, I wanted to pitch that a little quicker than he'd hoped to right there because there was so much pressure coming up front from Thomas Franklin. Nice play by that young man to disrupt that thing at the point of attack.
So Stevens comes out with a little pep in their step after a sluggish 1st half, according to Darrell Hempill. He probably got into him pretty good. Gold's Gym 1st down. They're coming out fired up here in the 2nd half. Rivers straight drop, looks left, got a man, caught, touchdown, Falcons!
How about that start?
Devin Martin right down the sideline, 30 yards, beat his man one-on-one, and Rivers put it right on the money.
Got so many receivers. We talked about how banged up they are at that position, but it just seems like they've got so many guys that can step up and make plays. But great ball down the sideline, and really excellent job of that young man keeping his feet right down the sideline and into the end zone.
Martin's 3rd touchdown of the year. The extra point is up and good by Eric Pena, and the Falcons go back in front. It's 21-17. Stevens over Taft. We'll take a break. We got a good one tonight on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights.
Tonight's broadcast in high definition is brought to you by the Law Office of Ramon Cervantes.
Welcome back. Devin Martin, a happy man, standing up and telling everybody just how he did walk the tightrope there down the sideline. Got his name on the paper, as they say. Better than that, he got his face on TV. Only a 3-play drive, took 50 yards. There's his touchdown right there. Sorry, 3 catches for 50 yards tonight.
Yeah, now we'll see what Taft does here. You know, they've been playing ahead all night long. Now they got to play from behind. We'll see how they respond.
Michael Cooper from the 20 takes it to the middle, cuts back. It's across the 30, and that's where the Raiders will set up shop. And Chuck, as you take a look at this replay again, it's just a great throw.
Yep, three-step drop, and then, yeah, just over the outstretched defender's arm. And you talked about his accuracy. You've seen the arm strength, a little bit of everything for Bryce Rivers. Doesn't matter who's out there playing wide receiver. He's going to find the guy that's open and make the throw if you give him some time. And he had all day to get rid of that one and threw a perfect strike downfield to give Stevens their first lead of the ball game.
KJ Stevens, number 14, and Christian Mallard, number 33, joined De Hoyos in the backfield. De Hoyos wants to throw it, going over the middle, and taking a shot was Michael Cooper. It's incomplete, and coming up to lay a lick on him was number 2 for Stevens, and that was Joseph Kilby. That one could have been a lot worse, and I'd like to see the fact that he let up and didn't lead with his head, because he could have knocked Cooper out if he wanted to. Incomplete on first down, so it's 2nd down and 10. Ball spotted at the 30 for Christian De Hoyos in this Taft offense. De Hoyos leaves the quarterback position to split left. That means we're in the Wildcat with Mallard. He hands it to KJ Stevens, and he picks up about 3 before he's met by Elijah Earls. Elijah Garcia also in on the tackle.
A lot of confusion outside with the Taft receivers on that one. They were lucky they didn't get a flag thrown on them. There were a couple of receivers moving at the same time.
You got to be on your toes if you're a Stevens defender with De Hoyos playing quarterback, because they've run that Wildcat 2 or 3 times. Now he sends Cooper to the right-hand side along with Malik Randolph. He's got Mallard back there with him, and he play actions to him and now looks to the right-hand side and throws it to Cooper. It's caught and down the sidelines for a first down as Michael Cooper all the way down inside the Stevens 45-yard line, a 24-yard pickup. Going to spot it about the 43.
And you get a chance to see Christian De Hoyos' arm as well. I mean, standing tall in the pocket and throwing a seed right here. Stepping into the throw, short release. Cooper's had himself a fine ball game, no doubt. That was a big, huge play that Taft definitely needed on 3rd and long.
I don't know, we didn't hear much about recruitment of that young man, but he looks like a player that could play at the next level for sure. He's got the size, the hands, 2 great athletic catches tonight as they snap it to Mallard. Mallard's got the middle of the field. Mallard across the 35 to the 34. Elijah Earls there to wrap him up, but not before he's close to the marker again for another Gold's Gym first down.
Yeah, a lot of jabs and hooks right now by Taft. I mean, they're coming out. They're having a lot of success throwing the football, and that's really loosening up the running game. And I feel like Mallard needs a lot to get him going. I mean, this is a really nice balance that Taft is showing tonight in this football game, and really moving the ball fairly well against this Stevens defense.
De Hoyos now 4 of 10 for 138 yards, and Mallard is closing in on the century mark, right at 80 yards on the night. It was good enough for a Gold's Gym first down as De Hoyos and company look this side to get the play from the Taft staff. Cooper singled up with Carter on the left-hand side. Bottom of your screen, run option. It's Mallard. He gets a block, and Mallard's got the 25 to 20. Mallard inside the red zone. Mallard to the 10, still on his feet. It takes 4 Falcons to push him out of bounds, and the Taft Raiders have themselves a 23-yard pickup.
Well, I don't know who got that kick-out block right there, but it was just enough. Is that 14 over there for Taft? I think it was.
Stevens.
Yeah, KJ Stevens doing a really nice job. Just enough to push the defender away from the ball carrier, and that helps spring that play for a large gain.
You know what,
Taft,
Chuck?
who's on the move again.
It also puts him inside the Toe Juice red zone. Toe Juice, the ultimate skincare solution.
You know, you've created a little catchphrase around the office with that, too, which is...
Have so much fun saying that.
We can tell.
KJ Stevens on the carry inside the 10.
I mean, I think there's some new people that just started working there that only know you as the Toe Juice
It's
guy.
actually a great product. When your feet are cracking, you got like athlete's foot, this stuff is incredibly healing. But it's got a unique name, and when you say it like Jason Sudeikis on Saturday Night Live, when they're doing that ESPN bit, it cracks me up every time. Christian De Hoyos gets the play call, comes in, 2nd down and goal from the 8. He's got Mallard with him. Mallard comes out of the backfield. He looks his way, throws it to him, overthrows it. Good coverage, and Mallard was held up there, and he kind of wants a holding call. Cutting off his route was number 22 for Stevens, Nathan Montez, and that's just good coverage.
Yeah, and they also may have thought that the ball was uncatchable because the ball was overthrown, but yeah, there's no doubt that ball was in the air, and he took a little shove there while he's trying to go track the football.
3rd and goal, similar drive to the one they had late in the half when they got a field goal instead of a touchdown. Brian Davenport going away from Mallard inside the red zone, inside the 15, electing to throw the football. But now he's got Mallard lined up in the Wildcat as De Hoyos is on the near side. They'll hand it to KJ Stevens. and he's going nowhere as Montez is there to make the tackle. 22 coming up big for the Stevens defense. 2 plays in a row. That sets up 4th down, and he's going to bring on Carlos Moreno to kick another one. He was successful on the 26-yarder before the half, and the drive stalls out again inside the Stevens red zone, and so they'll spot this one at about the 15. It'll be a 25-yarder. He's good from 26 right before the half.
You know, earlier in the game, they tried to mix it up, and they used Stevens on a 3rd down call. I don't think Stevens was looking for it, but they did on that one.
Good hold, good kick. Long enough, straight enough, right through the middle. It's good. Moreno boots it through to make it a 21-20 ball game. Stevens in the lead, and they'll get the ball back. Taft matching score for score. We've got a good one at Gustafson Stadium.
San Antonio Sports All-Star Cheer Challenge. That's powered by CPS. That's 4 local high school cheer squads that are going to win the opportunity to cheer at the San Antonio Sports High School All-Star football game on Saturday, January the 9th. So cheer sponsors and school administrators, listen up. You can still register your squad by visiting cw35.tv.
All right, thanks, Mike. Taft will kick it away. Got ourselves a good football game on Thursday night. Gorgeous night here in San Antonio, Texas. Taft and Stevens, we told you it was going to be a good one, has lived up to the hype. Back and forth we go. Stevens leads at 21-20, and they'll get the football back. DeAnthony Carter back there along with Tristan Castaneda. Devin Martin back there as well. And Moreno's going to hit the pooch. Carter comes up, but it's taken instead by Tristan Castaneda. And he takes it out across the 35 to about the 37-yard line, and that's where Rivers and company will set up shop. They were really efficient on their last drive. Had that quick offense going, the no huddle, had the Taft defense back on their heels, and he, of course, hooked up with Devin Martin, a 30-yarder to put them ahead. Taking a look at our Monarch Trophy Studios hardware that we'll hand out at the end of the night. Monarch Trophy, the awards leader since 1972. Great folks over there. If you want a trophy, plaque, anything for all your trophy needs, just give them a call at 344-3777 and tell them you saw it on TNL. Little pass out into the flat. It's complete. And across the 40. Late flag comes in.
Logan Mann on the reception.
As Logan Mann picks up about 7.
Jody McCluskey doing a really good job getting out there and tripping up the ball carrier, because that looked like it was going to go for a lot further than it did.
Penalty definitely looked like it was a dead ball foul as late as that flag flew in. Let's go down and listen to our lead official, Randy Wilson.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
All right, they'll repeat first down after a holding call. Stevens has had this happen to them a couple of different times tonight, where they move the football and then have something happen. Darrell Hemphill getting clarification from the side judge over on his sideline. And we start the clock with 3 receivers split wide right for Bryce Rivers. On 1st and 14, straight drop for Rivers, who fires over the middle, caught across midfield to the 45, out of bounds inside Taft territory is Terrell Wiley-Ramsey.
Wiley-Ramsey's been wearing these guys out, hasn't he? All kinds of green space, finds an open spot. Bryce Rivers with another strike finding a little soft spot in the zone. And they're on the march again. I don't know what was said at halftime, but there's an extra pep in the step of the Stevens offense. There's no doubt to start the second half of this football game.
It's a pickup of 27 yards, a Gold's Gym first down for the Stevens Falcons. They want to go fast again. Again, 3 wide right. Looks this way, throws in the flat, out of the backfield, across the 40, and taking a shot is Joshua Shelley. Hello, Joshua.
How about Rolando Vasquez? That's one of those plays, Don, where you flip it out quick to your wide receivers and hope you get some help from your buddies that are also outside. But Vasquez tracking that one all the way, ran about 15 yards, closed on that quickly, and was able to hold that to a minimal gain.
Big shot at the end of that one after a pickup of 4. Second down and 6. Ball's on the 36. Rivers running for his life. Gets a nice block and fires deep, and it was caught, but I believe he was out of bounds, and they say that Wiley Ramsey was out of bounds, didn't get a foot down. Still an athletic play to go up and get that one.
The athletic play all the way around. You know, Bryce Rivers running around for his life. A couple of guys on the Taft defense ball hawking him, trying to make him as uncomfortable as possible, and that was one of the keys to the game tonight for Taft. They really want to get Bryce off his mark. They've been able to do it a couple of times tonight, and there's a reason why we're in a 1-point game right now.
Big play for Stevens. 3rd and 6 on the Taft 36. Rivers straight drop, eyeballing the man all the way to the right side. Now fires a bullet over the middle and just threw it in between 2 receivers who were both running post routes. You had Logan Mann and Terrell Wiley Ramsey. One at about the 10 and one at about the 5, and that one landed about the 7.
Looks like Coach Hemp is going to play the field position game right here. You know, if he's down in this football game, maybe they decide to go for it, but it's discretion, the better part of valor on this one. They're going to try to pin him deep and hope their defense can get off the field.
Eric Pena back to do the punting. He's got Elijah Earls back there with him. A very versatile defensive end who's also played fullback tonight. Corey Rankin back to receive. He stands at about his 9-yard line. High snap for Pena. Pooches it towards the sideline. Really good kick if it sits down. Bounces at the 2. It's at the 1 and knocked out of bounds at about the 1-yard line. In fact, right at the 1, first down, doing a great job to get down there and knock it out was Tristan Castaneda. It may have gone out on its own, but Castaneda doing a fantastic job on special teams, and Taft is backed up when we come back.
Closed captioning of tonight's game is brought to you by Air to Recovery.
Christian Mallard backed up inside his own end zone. Taft's going to have to go 99 plus after a great punt by Eric Pena. We may have a safety here.
No, he was going for it. I know Stevens wants one.
Stevens wants one, but getting out of the backfield just across the goal line.
Yeah, Don, can't say enough about Eric Pena, the punter for Stevens. I mean, that ball, it was snapped high to him. He caught it, gathered himself, and then to turn a punt like that and stick it that far close to the goal line, kickers don't get enough credit, man. That kid did a really nice job on that play.
Yeah, and whether Tristan would have touched it or not, that ball was going to roll out on its own at about the 1. All right, we've got 2nd down and 10. Ball again at the 1 for Christian De Hoyos, who stands 4 yards deep, loses the football. Now it's going to be a safety. The ball's loose. Interesting call here because they're going to say it was down, and if it's down, that's a safety. And it is. Stevens picks up 2 more. It's 23-20. And Chuck, you can point all the way back to the punt. That punter made that possible.
You know, Taft has played such a great ball game here tonight so far in this game, and wow, what a horrible time to have a mistake like this. Just can't find the ears, and then there's a scrum. Now they got to punt the ball away. We'll see if the Taft defense can't make another stand.
Brian Davenport looking for an explanation on the play. And he's got a bit of a beef. This was an interesting call because if the ball's loose, I still don't think you can advance a fumble. And he's saying his guy recovered it on the 1. But again, there is no replay in high school football, and the lead official there explaining it to him. And to tell you the truth, if I'm Davenport, safety might have been the best bet here, because it was very lucky they didn't get the Stevens touchdown there or the Stevens ball at the 1. Great job by the Stevens special teams in the first place to get it down there.
Well, we talked about it at the onset, Don. I mean, how important would the kicking game and special teams be here tonight? Both coaches and their keys to victory. That was one of the 3 things that they knew was going to be important, and it shows up time and time again in these football games.
So Taft will punt it away back to Stevens, who now leads by 3. And Stevens now has a little extra energy, knowing that they're going to get this ball probably close to midfield.
Yeah, and they've looked like a completely different animal since they've come out through the second half. Have that opening drive, go down and score as quickly as they did. You know, you get a stop, you get a great special teams play, and then your defense comes up with the turnover. At least gets a stop in the end zone and gets you 2 points, and now you're going to get the ball back again. So it's always interesting watching these games unfold, Don. You know, you've got 2 teams playing even football through one half, and then, you know, Taft's had some adversity here to start the second half, but, you know, still a long way to go in this one. You know, if you can somehow manage to get a stop and get the ball back, all will be forgiven.
So they're not going to punt it. Instead, Marino's going to kick it. And we've seen all these pooches. This is one of those ones where you want to kick it away. He does, and it's going to be caught on the fly by DeAnthony Carter at the 40. Gets to the sideline. He's pushed out of bounds right at the 45, and Stevens takes over there. Cameron Davis shoving him out of bounds. And actually a pretty good play by Carlos Moreno. Let's take a look back at the cause. Here's that punt you talked about by Pena, and this thing was going to roll out of bounds at the 1 on its own, despite the great hustle there by the Taft special teams.
No, indeed it was. And again, you just can't say enough about a punter that has to field a high snap, gather himself, doesn't panic, doesn't rush, and then is able to stick the ball down there that close to the enemy's goal line. And then that's what can happen. You know, you get one play like that, and instead of it just being a loss, you know, if you're at midfield, it turns into 2 points for your squad.
Here's Donald picking up about 5. You know, we've seen that Davenport run that wildcat with Mallard back there a lot instead of De Hoyos. I think that would have been a great place to see that on first down back there. Or line him up and just, you know, Peyton Manning sneak it, where you just dive straight ahead. Shotgun in your own end zone is a dangerous proposition. And we saw what happened.
There can be. You know, they've had some big plays in the passing game, too. And, you know, that's one of those things you might be able to get an even bigger play if you can just buy your quarterback some time and then have him sling it up in the air and go find a tall receiver.
Rivers looks left, now looks back. Now he's going to take off and run it. He's got good speed and gets across the 40-yard line for a Gold's Gym first down before Adam Ruth brings him down.
Well, just the overall feel for the position for Bryce Rivers. I mean, he's dropping back. It looks like he's loading, going to air it out, throw a long one. He gets everybody to bite, tucks it down and runs, and picks up an easy first down for his squad.
Another Gold's Gym first down for the Falcons. We're under 3:40 to play here in the third quarter. They lead it by 3. Wanted to run pitch option, keeps it himself. Shows some toughness, getting across the 35 to the 34-yard line. That's going to set up first down opportunity here on second down and about 6. Ball spotted right at the 34. Darrell Hemphill told us before the game that we like to huddle. We're in no hurry. We like to see what the defense is going to give us and see what they're in, and then we'll change the play. And
he says he likes to give his offensive lineman a blow.
Triple stack to the right-hand side. He's looking that way all along. Throws it underneath and just off the hands of Terrence Wiley Ramsey, who couldn't handle it. And that sets up 3rd down and about 6.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where, yeah, I'm sure the young man's probably kicking himself on his way back to the huddle, but that play wasn't going to go anywhere. Great defense there by Taft. Had it all strung out, ready to make a play, and led by 48 Roman Herrera, ready to make the tackle if the ball was caught.
And that's one of those places where Rivers, although he has great velocity on his ball, is going to get better in time. He was thrown a little low, a little hot. You just want to make it real easy for your receiver to catch that coming out of the backfield. He had movement on the defensive line. Look at the fastball caught right at the 15 by Terrell Wiley Ramsey. Oh, what a throw. 19 yards. Rivers just throwing it on a rope.
You know, another thing that's really impressive about these Stevens receivers too, Don, is that they're absolutely fearless catching the ball in traffic time and time again. We've seen missile shots, and you know he knows he's going to take a shot. And he just goes up and grabs it, takes a blow, and hangs onto it, pops right back up, has a little word or two for the defender, ready to run another play.
He probably said, we're inside the toe juice red zone. As Rivers scrambles, gets out, throws it, completes it inside the 11. Devin Martin with the catch. Did I mention toe juice is the ultimate skincare solution?
Yeah, I thought about running that one there, but Will Tree closing in on the quarterback and just checked it down to a safety valve. Nice job picking up a few yards on that play.
2nd down and 7. Big, strong left-hander doing a good job of moving his squad down the field. They have a 3-point lead, looking to make it a 2-possession game. Rivers fakes it to Joshua, now scrambling for his life, and boy, does a good job of unloading it, and it's incomplete, intended for Logan Mann. Good coverage back there by the secondary. Nate Martinez had him wrapped up, and I tell you, a smart play and a good play by Rivers to not take the sack and give his guy a chance.
Good offense, better defense on that particular play. I mean, Bryce Rivers doing a good job just getting that ball away. You talked about Nate Martinez doing the job, knocking the ball away there, but man, all kinds of heat from Roman Herrera and company, barreling down on Rivers right there and making his life absolutely miserable and getting rid of that ball a lot quicker than he wanted to.
Stevens used all 3 of their timeouts in the first half, in the first quarter. They burn one here on a very important call. It's 3rd down and 7. They need about the 9.5-yard line for a new set of downs. And they have all kinds of options with their left-handed quarterback and some really dynamic receivers in Logan Mann, Terrell Wiley Ramsey. Devin Martin has a couple of grabs tonight.
Another huge opportunity here for the Taft defense. You know, we talked about how they kind of had to rebuild their defensive line, and those guys have really showed up nice tonight. Now, here's a chance where, you know, things really haven't gone your way to start the second half, but man, if you can hold these guys to a field goal attempt right here, what a huge lift that would give the whole Taft ball club.
Rivers has really spread the wealth tonight with his receivers. One with 6 catches, 2 others with 4, all over 50 yards. He's running for his life again, and he's sacked. Big play by the Taft defense, number 65, Alex Chukwadule. And if I said that right, I'll give you a nickel.
I'd say it's pretty close. Tell you what, Roman Herrera coming like a missile shot out of a cannon right there. And, you know, all of a sudden, Bryce feels like the heat is on, and he wasn't kidding. And on the backside, Chico Dule was able to clean up the mess.
Field goal attempt by Stevens is up long enough, and it's right down the middle. Nice kick by Eric Pena. Not only can he punt it deep inside the red zone, he can
deliver with the field goal, and it's 26-20. Stevens over Taft, but a touchdown and an extra point could put the Raiders back up. Great ball game on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights.
What's up, everyone? It's Alana, your CW insider. Go Stephen Falcons, go Taft Raiders, but go CW Crew. That's what I want to talk to you about, joining the CW Crew. Why? Why not? 1, it's completely free. 2, I'm the boss and I have the coolest club in town. And 3, I just really want you to join. We give things away all the time, like discounts around town, tickets, just really great stuff. Speaking of tickets, imagine this, you with a hot date sitting at the Luke Bryan concert. Doesn't that sound good? Well, you can be there because we're giving tickets away. It's very simple. To join the contest, all you have to do is text Luke to 45203, and then you're in the contest and you join the Crew Club. Good luck.
All right, we're back. Plenty to dance about here with both teams. Stevens fired up. They lead by 6. 49 ticks left here in the third quarter. You know, both these coaches, Chuck, I'm sure, say, want that one back. Both of them have had possessions where they wanted 6 or 7. They had to settle for 3, but the kicking games have been great for both squads.
No, it's really been a nice ball game. And, yeah, you know, what was so great about Taft getting the stop there for their side, I mean, all the coaches were out applauding the defense as they came off the field. Yeah, you gave up a field goal, but as bad as that turnover was, it could have been a lot worse. I mean, you end up giving up 5 points in the final analysis. Now you're getting the ball back. It's still a one-possession game. And 27-6A, man, this zone play is great because all these games are huge. You know, over at Ferris tonight, we had O'Connor and Clark was 2-0, but O'Connor put it on him tonight, 38-9. So, you know, a lot of these teams are going to be bunched up even after this week.
Michael Cooper takes the short kick and crosses the 30. So De Hoyos and company will set up there with 40 seconds to go in the quarter. Yeah, and for the first time in the history of Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights, we're going to have some flex scheduling for you. So in week 10, we'll bring you that play-in game between the Northside schools that qualify for that final playoff spot.
I just like it because it's like every game is your season. You know, it feels like a playoff game every week.
De Hoyos has Mallard behind him in an eye. He's got 3 receivers to his left. Hands to Mallard, who bounces it outside. Breaks a tackle, gets to the 35-30, cuts back, and just brilliant running by Christian Mallard, and you can see why he's being recruited to play at the next level. If you're just joining us, the young man is very good in school. He's got offers from the service academies, as well as some other interests from other schools as well. One of the best backs in San Antonio.
Brilliant running. I mean, I don't know how you describe it any better than what you just did, Don. I mean, there were a couple opportunities to bring him down, and you know, he's the last kid you're going to tackle by his ankles. Great balance, unbelievable burst.
And he's over 100 yards, 117 on the night on just 17 carries.
I mean, you know he's getting the football. That's the amazing thing.
Here he is again, and that time he is going nowhere because we got another Division I football player in Elijah Garcia saying, meet me. Elijah's going to Rice. He committed, 6'5", 260. And he's 2 nose tackles in there.
Yeah, DeAndre Abraham, 47, also in on the play. So we got some big beasties up front at Stevens, there's no doubt.
And how about this? Both those guys are 2 scholar athletes. So arguably the 2 best players on the field who have chances to play at the next level are 2 of the smartest kids as well. That's going to bring us to the end of 3. Our score, the Stevens Falcons 26, the Taft Raiders 20, and Taft has the football and is on the move near midfield. We're all set up for a thrilling 4th quarter finish. You're watching Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights presented by Baptist Emergency Hospital on the CW 35. The 4th quarter when we come back. Welcome back to Gustafson Stadium. You're looking live at the press box here in Northside. Good crowd out here tonight. Time for our Wilkes Air Conditioning 3rd quarter highlights. We crowned our king and queens. And then we had a touchdown as Bryce Rivers hit Devin Martin from 30 yards out to put Stevens ahead 21-17. Taft got within a field goal, but then great special teams play by Stevens. Set up a safety. And then Logan Mann got him inside the red zone, and they kicked a field goal from there, and now it's 26-20. Second down and 13 for the Raiders as they switch ends. De Hoyos with Mallard behind him, running option and pitches that way. Mallard cuts it back. Still fighting for yardage up near midfield. Josh Kilby there. Got him right around the throat, but Mallard's so strong he was able to pick up at least 4, maybe 5 yards. Take a look at our Church's Chicken third quarter stats. No huge numbers jump out. Turnover battle just 1-0. Total yards real close, 280 to 254. Although going into this game we knew one team loved to throw it and one team loved to run it, and that's been the case. And Taft wants to talk it over, and they should. It's a big third down call for Coach Brian Davenport. Let's go down to the field and Mike Hernandez. Mike?
Well, guys, you were talking a little bit about Mallard, Christian Mallard, and how the service academies were courting him a little bit. Little background on that. His sister actually went to West Point, and that's a huge inspiration for him. He wants to go and follow in her footsteps. She recently got back from Afghanistan, so he's very proud of her, and he's very close to her, and so he's hoping to do the same.
Well, I'll tell you what, over the years, we've seen so many kids from San Antonio go to the service academies, and, you know, always love that Army-Navy game. Neither program up there in the top 25 or anything, but that's always a special game in Philadelphia. And so many times we've seen a kid from Taft or O'Connor or one of the Northeast schools playing for the service academy and getting their moment in the sun on national television. It's awful cool.
And here we are with Taft again. We talked about all the close ball games they've been in this year, and you know, last time out they had a blowout win against Jay, but boy, this team week in and week out just seems to find itself in close ball games.
Huge play here. Third down and 8. De Hoyos going to be dropped. Doing a great job to get back there and sack him is Elijah Earls and Elijah Garcia. It's Garcia getting up last. And man, from the very beginning of this football game, we said look out for the two Elijahs, and they were there again. Garcia, number 90, had him wrapped up and he just wouldn't let go.
You know what, Don, I was watching him the entire play, and he just absolutely pushed his blocker straight back into the quarterback. I mean, that's a man-sized football player right there, and I'll just tell you what, he just exerted it, just put his will on the blocker right there. I mean, that was an amazing, amazing play.
I don't know if that ball touched Carter or not. It's a moot point now because it went out of bounds, but yeah, Elijah Garcia doing his job. Stevens on top. We're coming back in the fourth quarter on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights.
Welcome back to Church's TNL, and folks, I want you to check out the left side of your screen, number 90, and to see what kind of a load this guy is. It's just, you must be kidding me. I'm going to the quarterback, and I don't think you can stop me. And yeah, it is all you can eat, young man.
There's a reason he's 6'5", 260.
Yeah, and the word I was looking for,
salad bar.
Right, the word I was looking for, because I'm not a rice man, as you know, Don, was exert. He was exerting his force on the other team and just simply taking that play over.
Exert is way too big a word for you, Chuck.
Yeah, I was more like desert is what I think was coming into my
That's
brain.
what Elijah's thinking about, I can tell you that right now.
I'll tell you what, that was some kind of play.
Call that a bull rush. That's second down and 7 for his teammate Bryce Rivers, showing poise, scrambling, completes it to Mann. And it's a nice little pickup of about
5 and gets him close to the stick, and he'll come up third and short, third and about 2. And knowing Darrell Hemphill, he wants to run clock, and he wants to move the football down the field.
Yeah, you got to erode that clock, man, no doubt. 10-13 left in the game. You're in a one-possession game. Ball security, obviously at a premium this time of game. See if Jerry Beulah and company can get a stop here. 51's having a nice game as well. And really nice hustle play on the last play. Almost got himself a quarterback sack.
Man single covered. And he's talking to his quarterback, Rivers, who hands it to Donald, who spins near the first down marker. The line judge and the side judge both have it across the stick. So I think we're going to have ourselves a Gold's Gym first down, and they're going to move it. We do. That's a first down. Clock will run under 10 minutes. Devontae Donald with 9 carries for 35 yards tonight.
You got to be careful, too, if you're Taft. You know, you want to try to commit some more hats to try to stop the run, but if you do, look out. I mean, you could get beat by a big play downfield.
Wilson comes to a little screen out of the backfield, shows a nice burst of speed. Gets across the 35. Fred Williams on the catch.
Yeah, that almost looked like a lateral.
Yeah, I was thinking double pass there for half a second.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought, too, when I saw the runner break behind the quarterback.
Instead, he picks up about 7. He's going to set up second down and 3. All the way up to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And, you know, this is what Stevens does. They make no bones about it. I mean, they are a pass team first, but, you know, you pitch and catch the ball. You can run clock, too.
Boy, look at the bullet throw by Rivers. And Terrell Wiley-Ramsey was lucky he caught it. Otherwise, that might have stuck in his face mask like something out of The Water Boy.
Yeah, that was a really nice catch, really in traffic. And we talked about Bryce's ability to throw guys open. I mean, there wasn't a lot of green area for him to throw that ball through the window, but nice throw, nice catch, and the sticks are moving again. So is the clock.
Something tells me those Stevens receivers may go home with bruises and split webbing on their fingers from time to time. First down and 10. Rivers, another fastball. That one cannot be handled by Taron Dominguez. And I don't know if you can blame him. That had some smoke on it.
No, it did. And there was some confusion, too, by the receivers on the Stevens side, too. I mean, they had essentially 3 guys in the same area. You know, what you want to do when you're trying to, you know, get these short chuck at ducks is you want to have, you know, receivers going every which way, you know, and try to lead some of these DBs so that you can find at least one of them open. Clear some space for somebody.
Second down 10 for Rivers. Run all the way. Pitch to Williams, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Big number 83, Thomas Franklin, blew it up and got in the backfield to take down Williams.
Yeah, Thomas Franklin blowing it up. He didn't make the tackle, but he started this play, no doubt. Look at how quickly he gets back there. That's not going anywhere. And then Roman Herrera, how many times are we going to call 48's number tonight?
Yep.
Kid's going to sleep well tonight.
Great job by the Taft defense. Sets up third down and 15. Rivers looking over the middle. He's got a room to run if he wants. Instead, he fires for the first down across midfield. Going airborne is Taron Dominguez. And just like that, Stevens comes up with a 22-yard gain when they needed it most.
You know, weren't rushing many pass rushers, was Taft. And it's so interesting to see the poise of this quarterback. You know, when you don't have contain, he just steps up and he finds himself and creates his own throwing lane.
Good for a Gold's Gym first down as we tick inside 8 minutes. Stevens moving the football. They have the lead as Fred Williams gets about a yard or two. And we've got a penalty marker on the play. And Chuck, what a clean game by both teams. Not too many penalties tonight at all.
Nope. It's really been a well-played game, and, you know, we talked about it coming in.
Got a hold on Stevens. Our official Randy Wilson asking Coach Davenport what he wants to do. He's going to back him up.
And we talked about it. You know, it's deceiving. You come into zone play and you know, you look at the paper and you say, oh, wow, Stevens coming in 5-1, 1-0 in their district. And poor old Taft, 2-5, 1-1, ho-hum. But it's just been not the case. I mean, this team easily could be 5-2, a break here or a break there. You know, they've played great against some of the biggest teams in school in the area. You know, Brennan had a great first half against them, and that's, I mean, all these other games that they could have won.
Rivers going deep over the middle, contact, but no call as Devin Martin beat a couple of guys on the post, and then there was a traffic jam. Martin got his feet clipped just a little bit, was knocked off his route, was asking for some sort of interference, but I think that's a good call, saying it was just kind of unintentional, incidental contact.
How about these receivers too? You know, for as good as the quarterback is, and obviously you've seen him tonight, he is good, but man, these receivers just have the ability to get downfield, blow past the last line of defense, got great hands, they're all tough. How many shots have we seen him take over the middle, make grabs?
Second down and about 20. Rivers fires again. Let's see if that ball was caught.
It was caught, but he was out of bounds.
Out of bounds, so it's incomplete. That'll set up third down and 20. Logan Mann. Boy, Logan Mann's had a great game. He just has a chance to catch everything with his athleticism.
Yeah, and that was, again, you know, you don't see a lot of quarterbacks that can roll to their opposite hand side, square their body, and release the football in a fashion that would give the receiver a chance, but there's just not a whole lot of throws this kid can't make.
Player to watch is the guy at the very bottom of your screen.
Much
Rivers
better contained.
Sacked right there.
Chuck, Don, one of the things that has really impressed me is the different set of packages defensively that Taft has been able to bring. They've been making it very hard for Bryce to sit there and throw the ball comfortably in the pocket. And so far, you got to tip your hat to him. They have really, really made it hard. He's just a tremendous quarterback. And as you've been saying all night, he is able to move around in spite of the fact that he's being chased all over that backfield.
And they're just putting so much pressure, Mike. I mean, they got, you know, multiple guys that they're sending, and you're right. It's a lot of different looks. Sometimes four-man, they're rushing, and then other times they're bringing them from different sides of the field. And that was another huge stop by Taft, and here we are. You know, we're in a one-possession game, 6.5. Now we'll see if they can get the offense cranked again.
All right, we've got ourselves a one-possession football game, 6:35 to play, fourth quarter. Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights living up to the hype on the CW 35. Welcome back to Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Taft Raiders fired up. They've got themselves a chance. 6:35 to play. A touchdown and an extra point would give them the lead, but they've got to go about 90.
And speaking of 90, I would make sure I've got a lot of people blocking him.
Lining up over the nose is Elijah Garcia. Mallard's got it. He goes right his way, and Garcia's one of the guys that gets a hand on him as he gets across the 15 to the 16-yard line. And now we're going to see the superstars square off here. It's fourth quarter time. You got D1 prospects. Mallard going to the service academies, most likely. Elijah Garcia right there, number 90, committed to Rice. Michael Cooper, big number 3. Healthy target for De Hoyos, who's quarterbacking this squad. He's also got Malik Randolph split wide to the right with Cooper. Steady hands to Mallard, and Mallard's tripped up after a gain of about 1. And that's going to set up a crucial 3rd down and 5. James Johnson in on the tackle.
Stevens really selling out and saying, hey, you know what? We're going to take Mallard away from you in this game right now.
He hasn't had one-on-one coverage with Cooper since the beginning. They've got a safety rolled up over here again, and that's why Davenport is changing the play, and now all of a sudden Stevens wants to take a timeout.
Boy, Coach Hemp, you can tell he's been around, huh? Played in the NFL, played with the Colts back in the day, and he saw some confusion from his DBs over here on the right side of the field, and he just did not like the way that was looking at that point, and I think wisely burned a timeout.
We'll take it with them. It's 26-20, big third down for Taft when we come back.
I want to remind everybody the time is running out to register for the San Antonio Sports All-Star Cheer Challenge, which is powered by CPS. 4 local high school cheer squads will win the opportunity to cheer at the San Antonio Sports High School All-Star Football game on Saturday, January 9th. So cheer sponsors and school administrators, you can still register your squad by visiting cw35.tv.
De Hoyos on 3rd and 5, completes it to Mallard in the flat, and Mallard's got the 30, the 35, a first down and out of bounds. Big play by the Taft offense, 17 yards, a Gold's Gym first down, and maybe a game-saving play right now with 5:11 to play in this one, down a touchdown.
How about the left side of the Taft offensive line right there? Adrian Knight, John Garza and company, those guys holding up just long enough to give De Hoyos some blindside coverage over there so that he could flip that ball out to Mallard and move the sticks.
James Brooks split left with Michael Cooper. We've got KJ Stevens on the left side as well. He's got Mallard behind him, and he hands to him on first down, and Mallard goes nowhere, bounces backwards, and then on his second effort, he picks up about 4. Elijah Garcia and Ashton Smith, the first 2 there. And I mean, he ran into Garcia and went backwards, but did a great job of bouncing off him. And Chuck, we're seeing mano a mano here between the 2 best athletes on the field.
That, and we're seeing Taft also go into their 6-minute offense here because you want to go down, you want to get some points, but you also don't want to give Stevens another crack at this. This has been well orchestrated by Coach Davenport and his crew, how they've managed this football game tonight.
Remember the first touchdown of the game? We got isolated coverage again as Mallard takes it across the 40-yard line. Go back to the first quarter, Michael Cooper one-on-one with DeAnthony Carter, scored on a long sideline route. And Taft had that same look on that play right there and went away from it. It'll be interesting to see if they single up Cooper here at the bottom of your screen again. They do. And here comes Carter, but this time they put him in the slot. So it's still one-on-one with those 2, but they're not wide right. The furthest man out there is Malik Randolph, number 25. They go quick snap on the Wildcat formation to Mallard, and we've got a penalty. False start against Taft. That'll back them up. They had 3rd and 4. Now it'll be 3rd and 9, and that makes a huge difference.
Indeed it does. And I'll tell you what, on the previous play, number 11, Tristan Castaneda, he's my idol.
He's been good tonight.
He's trying to, you know, bring down Mallard with a head of steam, man. He took him right on. It was like, got to be like tackling a freight train, but young man giving up a lot of size, but tells you what kind of football player he is.
They like this same look. They split Randolph wide right, and they got Cooper in the slant in the middle of the field. De Hoyos running for his life, and he's sacked. Another huge play, and it's Elijah Earls this time coming from the defensive end spot. I think our players of the game, if Steven hangs on, might be the 2 Elijahs together. The defense has been great. Rivers has been great as well, but look at the power. He just beat his man, was held, had his jersey pulled, runs right through it, and it's the 3 guys we've been talking about. 42 Earls, 90 Garcia, and 11 Castaneda all met at the quarterback on a huge 3rd down stop.
Now it's going to be 4th and long, but again, you're right. I mean, what Stevens did on that particular play was they just loaded the left side and just, man, I'll tell you what, between Castaneda and Earls, you're right, it was going to be a race to see, A, who's the fastest player, number 1, but who's going to get the quarterback down on the ground. Outstanding play by those guys, and you know, they had to make a big play here trying to protect this lead, and so far they've been up for the challenge.
Earls and Garcia, the 2 Elijahs, are the both selected today for our San Antonio Sports All-Star game. We've been telling you about the cheer challenge, sponsored by CPS Energy. It's January 9th at the Alamo Dome. We're going to see some of the best players in the country at the Army All-American Bowl at noon, the same game that's given us Tim Tebow and Adrian Peterson and Reggie Bush and Vince Young. And then we play the local game right after that, and these two proving tonight that they belong along with some of the best players in San Antonio right there. Huge play right here. 4th down for De Hoyos. 4th and 11. He's got to throw it. He's got time. He fires. Cooper has it go right through his hands at the 50-yard line. Would have been a first down. He's made 2 excellent catches tonight, and that time he just couldn't bring it in.
Oh, great play design. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you're talking about 4th and you need 1 play on long distance. Great route, great throw, just couldn't quite make the connection. But what an effort by Taft here tonight. Unfortunately for them, they don't have any timeouts, so first down or so might be able to ice this football game for Stevens.
Interesting, though, because Stevens loves to throw the football. Donald not really used to running it too much, and this is the time where you want to run it and kill clock. And they'll hand it to Donald, and he picks up a nice, healthy gain of about 6. But the clock runs, it'll run inside of 3 minutes. Adam Ruth there on the tackle. On the night, Donald has 10 carries for 41 yards, so the offense has come mostly through the air. And there's a stoppage right now, and now they're going to re-roll it. So the clock is now running again at 3:20. And the Stevens Falcons very content to take their sweet time. Play clock's at 21. So by the time we get here, we'll be at about 2:45 before you see him snap it. Unless it's Eli Manning. They snap it with 2 seconds left and run Donald. Doesn't get the first down. So it'll be a big 3rd down play for the Taft defense. And Chuck, we talked earlier about Coach Hemphill and what a battle he's been through in the last year or so. And kind of neat that he made the announcement at the pep rally this week. Said it all started with Taft. Here's video of that pep rally on our UIW Smile Cam. Not a lot of people in the school knew that he was diagnosed a year ago with the Taft game with prostate cancer, and it was a very emotional speech.
No, it is, and it's, pink out week here. There's a lot of survivors on their staff over there at Stevens. I think there's like 6 ladies that are cancer survivors over at the school, and he just felt like he was part of that family, and for obvious reasons. He went through this battle. Last year he got diagnosed, and then, if there is a positive of having prostate cancer, it is the slowest moving form of cancer. So he put off the surgery until after the season. He said he didn't want to disrupt the kids or knock them out of the flow or, let them all have to worry about him. So he went through his treatments and everything, and he said, I really thought the treatments went a lot better than I thought they would. He's a tough guy, both emotionally and physically. He's a football player himself, and he said the hardest part about it, Don, was going down and driving 20 minutes to his treatments every week, but he did it for 43 days. He battled it, and just a great story and a great inspiration for everybody to go get the prostate exam,
Yeah, we're in about that same age group. Here's what Coach Hemphill had to say about his fight over the last year.
A year ago this week, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and I said to myself, wow, what a game changer, and early detection was the key. So after the football season was over with, I went right to my doctor, and we decided to go through some treatments, and 42 of them downtown every morning. But you know what? That's the battle you take, and that's the battle what you got to do to come back and coach again for another year and a different group of kids. And so far, so good. The radiation treatments were being excellent. We have very low numbers on my PSA, and they stayed that way, and I'm just blessed to be here. And with it being a pink out game for us, it's a great message to everybody that this is a very important disease that we have to find a cure for, all cancers. And especially men, we're so stubborn sometimes. We don't want to go to the doctor. We don't want to, we're all okay, but we have to. And you don't feel right, you got to go take care of business.
You know, Coach Daryl Hemphill, Chuck's been, I know I can speak for you, he's been one of our favorites in town for many years. He started that O'Connor program years ago. Always been one of the most approachable coaches in town. We're always welcome at his practices. He's one of the nicest guys who has a positive influence on young men that he coaches, and his team's now off to a 6-1 start, but much more important than that, he's leading by example, not only as a coach on the football field, but in this fight against cancer, and it's good to see his team pick up a W, and more importantly, to see Coach doing much better a year later as he continues not only to fight his own battle, but to help others by getting his message out. So the Stevens Falcons are going to let this clock wind on down. It'll take us all the way to double zeros, and they'll have a 26-20 victory over Taft. You got to tip your cap to the Raiders. Their 2-6 record, not indicative at all of the kind of football team they have. And they're still fighting in this district, 27-6A for a playoff spot. And they'll be back and can conceivably play spoiler to some of the teams in this district as they line up and shake hands, and that's going to be the final.
Yeah, Don, I agree. I mean, at Taft, you know, if you go to sleep on these guys, they're going to punch you in the face and they're going to beat you. And, you know, they've had some tough luck this year, played in a lot of close games, and things haven't gone their way. But, you know, they're doing a lot of great things over there at Taft. You know, Coach Davenport, he and a lot of his coaches, they have wives that coach in the district, in the same district, and they're really doing some great things in the community there. I mean, Coach Davenport was telling me that one of his coaches, Coach Leandros, and his wife, they got a little deal where they were getting the kids to go down to the local elementary schools in town, and it's just such a thrill for some of the elementary school kids to see some of these guys like Christian Mallard to come to their school and greet them when they're going to the elementary school during the course of the day, and it's really cool. You know, you're building football teams, you're building young men, but you're building community as well, and our caps, I know, are tipped to both of these coaches and the job that they do.
Nice job by both teams. Good football game here. Stevens the winner. It's time for our Mr. Sparky electrifying play of the game. We had a lot of them tonight, and Bryce Rivers buying some time and going deep for a touchdown. Stevens had a few of those tonight, but that is our Mr. Sparky play of the game. 276 yards passing by Bryce Rivers. When we come back, we'll hand out that Monarch Trophy hardware. The Stevens Falcons, the victors on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. We've got our post-game show coming up. Don't go anywhere. We're back on Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. Good one tonight. Stevens over Taft, 26-20 the final score. Time to hand out our player of the game and give Coach Daryl Hemphill a very special reward on a very special week for him. Let's go down to Mike Hernandez.
All right, I am down here with the winning team right now. The Stevens Falcons say hi, and they say, hey, what do you think? Oh, don't leave. I thought you were falling asleep on me or something like that. Great game. How about a hand for Taft? They played a very good game tonight. Very inspired. All right, some great play on defense, some great play on offense. We're going to highlight one young man here who had a especially big night. He's number 7, your quarterback, Mr. Bryce Rivers. Come on up here, Bryce. Bryce was 21 for 35, 276 yards, and 3 TDs. Here you go, son. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, big game. I got to tell you something, okay? Just watching you warm up and then throw in the game, I've seen a lot of quarterbacks this year, some good ones. But as far as a pure throwing arm, I have not seen anything better than what you did out there tonight.
Thank you, sir. None of this was possible without my team and the receivers and a great O-line.
That's right. Where's the O-line? Yeah, that's what I'm talking. You need to buy them some Twinkies or something, okay?
Got it.
All right, well, listen. Again, let's give a big hand for Bryce Rivers. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's a great win tonight. Like you said, hats off to the Taft Raiders. Gave us all we can do tonight, and we're just excited about the win.
I mean, this was a tough one, man. This one went down to a couple of possessions that go the other way, and you might be on the other side of this.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Our defense stepped up.
The mic there.
We're good. We're good.
Okay. So wanted to say again, congratulations,
and also heartfelt for your recovery and your announcement at the pep rally talking about the prostate cancer and how you'd overcome and how it's in remission. What kind of a week was it for you?
It was a very emotional week. You know, this was a year going in that I was diagnosed with the cancer. And right now, all my PSA numbers are down, and I got great support, and I got a great school to work at, great guys to go to each and every day, and a great coaching staff, and I'm just very blessed.
Well, we're blessed to have you, and again, we thank you.
Appreciate that.
Hey, how about a hand for your coach, huh? All right, I'm going to get out of the way because I've got this drill down. I'm going to let you stand about right there. And you can present them the Thursday Night Lights trophy for winning tonight in a big win, 26-20 over Taft. Congratulations, the Stephen Falcons.
Tear it up, Coach.
That's my favorite part every single week, see the enthusiasm by those kids. Time for our Dixie Flag banner play of the game. We highlighted the offensive players, but how about the two Elijahs? They're both going to go on to play at the next level. They're playing in our San Antonio Sports All-Star game, and 42 and 90 were everywhere tonight. We could have given out 4 or 5 of those Monarch trophies tonight, so congratulations to Elijah Earls and Elijah Garcia, winners of our banner play, Dixie Flag play of the game. And now it's time to wrap up our Window Depot highlights. Fantastic night passing. We talked about Rivers, 267 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he gave credit to his receivers. They all had big nights tonight. Terrell Wiley Ramsey with a couple of big catches. Defense was everywhere. I tell you what, he spread it around, spread the wealth around. Ramsey had 7 catches for 86 yards. Mann had 5 for 72. Martin 5 for 64. They threw it for a total yards of 329 and 276 of those through the air. And as you said, a pretty clean game, only 1 turnover and limited penalties. And Chuck, we hate to say we told you so, but at the outset we said, look, don't sleep on Taft.
That's right.
They're good, and they proved to be tonight.
I think what's interesting about this game, too, is we talked about Stevens and the night that they had tonight. You know, let's not forget that their best receiver, their most, accomplished wide receiver had to miss tonight's game with a knee injury, and yet they still were able to come through and get a victory, and that's so important. And, when you go through the course of a high school football season, you're going to have some guys go down and have some other guys step up, and some of these teams do it better than others. And right now, Stevens, like we said at the beginning of the show, maybe flying under the radar on some people's deal, but I'll tell you what, they got our attention tonight.
I'll tell you an excellent team that's flying under the radar. That's our production team led by Chris Kotfus, directing and producing this show tonight. Fantastic job by the entire staff. For Chuck Mikatenik and Mike Hernandez down on the sidelines. For our statistician extraordinaire, Mark Lieberman, and my man Manny spotting on the spotter boards tonight. I'm Don Harris for everybody working Church's Chicken Thursday Night Lights. We'll see you next week with McCullum and Highlands. Till then, good night and God bless.